tell me lies. You know that I'm not your guy. I know you don't understand. I know it's all in your head. You used to always be there. You think the world's in your hands. I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand. Face to face, every time you fantasize, I'll fade away. Nothing else, I just cannot get out. Go and say, I can't step foot inside the aisle. Take a place while you watch me on a Saturday night. So it's why you waste time. Don't wanna say too much, I just wanna make right. Burn to the fields till they catch me with a bright light. Can take you home first, every man for himself. Understand, but he don't understand. Why don't you talk to the walls? I never see you again. Maybe you'll get a chance. That's what somebody said. I know you wanna be close, but I don't wanna be friends. Tell me lies, you know that I'm not your guy. I know you don't understand. I know it's all in your head. You used to always be there. You think the world's in your hands. I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand. Tell me lies, you know that I'm not your guy. I know you don't understand. I know it's all in your head. You used to always be there. You think the world's in your hands. I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand. Tell me lies, you know that I'm not your guy. I know you don't understand. I know it's all in your head. You used to always be there. You think the world's in your head. I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand. You used to tell me lies, you know that I'm not your guy. I know you don't understand. I know it's all in your head. You used to always be there. You think the world's in your head. I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are one of the most interesting franchises in all of Major League Baseball, having some of the greatest prospects that not only are in the major leagues, but that we've ever seen. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in a position to really create a dynasty with the roster that they currently have. However, the Pittsburgh Pirates fans know that that's not going to happen. The dynasty is not going to happen in Pittsburgh, simply due to the cheapness of their owner, Bob Nutting, who is never going to increase the payroll to a level to be able to supply the contracts needed to be able to continue to pay players like Paul Skenes, O'Neill Cruz, Jared Jones, and many more players that they have on this franchise, including prospects that are on their way. Budgetary constraints are going to be something that are going to happen. In fact, it's pretty much expected that at some point, once some players hit arbitration and become too expensive, it's very likely that Bob Nutting will require the team to trade away those players just to save some cash in his pocket, despite the fact the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be making money. And so we are going to play into this realism of having one of the worst owners in all of baseball. We're going to do something about it. This screen might not be something you're used to looking at, but we're going to spend time looking at it. In addition, I got to bring out something. I guess we're doing math. It's weird. You're looking at my face on the screen. I'm like, on here. Oh no. Like lurking over my shoulder, Moneyball is back inside of our ears. And I know people want Moneyball style rebuilds, and I think the Pirates are the perfect team to do this with. We are going to essentially try to play the real Moneyball method. We are going to spend most of our time actually considering our budget, our finances, the revenue we make, the competitive balance tax, the revenue sharing that we get, to try to create the most realistic depiction of having a terrible owner in baseball, which the Pirates do have. And so we are going to have to do math. So get your nerd, I guess, I mean, look at me, I'm a nerd. So I guess we're doing that. We're doing math on the board. So what is it going to look like for this rebuild and the math that we're doing? MLB The Show doesn't necessarily have the most accurate budgetary numbers. However, we're going to have to use those because those are the only numbers that we are going to be given throughout the rest of the rebuild. Now, one thing when it comes to creating budgetary constraints and Moneyball style rebuilds is that often we're utilizing the Oakland A's as a reference point in order to try to create some pre-inflationary ratio of dollars and cents that we're allowed to spend. Now, I don't want to work like that for this. We are instead going to try to depict a money-grubbing type of owner. And so we're going to talk about using percentage of revenue from what the team is making. And so I'm going to use the numbers the game gives as the expected revenue, simply because that's all that we can use, and all the other numbers that they give us financially in order to be able to work with. So Mlbtheshow believes that the Pittsburgh Pirates this season have a total revenue, or expected, of $138.5 million. It's a pretty good amount of revenue. However, it's not necessarily going to be a lot. It's still going to be a little bit lower compared to everybody else. If they make the postseason, they will make more money than this. However, that's not necessarily guaranteed. On top of this, because they are a team that is bringing in a good amount of money, they're not spending inside the competitive balance, and they are paying above the minimum threshold of salaries, they are also being given revenue sharing. Mainly due to the Dodgers and Yankees and Mets and all of that, they are earning $27.67 million in revenue sharing. With those two numbers, we can come to a calculation of approximately $166 million. In which they are expected to earn this upcoming season. Now, when we take a look at their expenses, on the other hand, they are expected to pay $119 million in player salary. That's mainly what we're going to focus on, not the staff salaries. So $119 million there. And these two numbers are going to be very important to how we're actually going to calculate what our constraints are. Due to just expected, we are not going to do a pure dollar amount, because if we are able to earn more money, that dollar amount is just going to get larger and larger and larger every season. Instead, we are going to operate on a ratio of projected revenue and earnings over expenses. So in order to do this, we're just going to do some simple division. This gives us a grand total of 71.6% of each of our dollars that we earn are going to be contributing to the salaries. So on an every season basis, we must calculate how much money we will have left over. For this first season, in order to create this deficit of this 71.6 million, or 71.6%, we need to have a grand total of $47.17 million left over at the end of the season. If we are unable to do this, that means that we need to make restrictions. Every time that we run into arbitration, we are going to have to pursue these numbers. We're going around this 71.6%. It's our big number here that we are focused on. Now, the other question you might be asking looking at this is, how is this going to be our Moneyball situation? Well, the way we are going to attempt to recreate and finance this team is we are going to give ourselves restrictions utilizing the replacement players that we are doing. So let's give ourselves a theoretical situation where we have to replace 3 players at the end of a season in order to fit within our budgetary constraints. Say we have to go $7 million cheaper, all of that. We are going to restrict ourselves to make sure we reach this dollar amount that we are doing, and we must, in the aggregate, replace each of those players by on-base percentage. So let's say that for hitters, we have a 300, a 310, and a 320 on-base percentage between these 3 players that we are replacing. We must find 3 players that, on average, have a 310 on-base percentage to adequately replace the 3 players that we are getting rid of. If this is not position players and instead pitchers, we are going to use whip to create that same difference, simply because it is the most accurate depiction in MLB The Show that we can use. So we would instead say replace 2 pitchers who have a combined 1.2 average whip that we are looking to do. These players are going to be cheaper. We are going to be signing free agents a lot on the margins where we're looking for smaller free agents. We're going to spend a lot of time in free agency in order to try to rebuild and sign guys that are going to try to get them for lower contracts. Now, one thing about most sports, especially in baseball, the cheapest players are the prospects, players that are AAA players who are going to be paid on average about $800,000 per year. Now, in order to restrict ourselves from just going out and trading for all of the best prospects, we are going to make sure any trade that we do that requires us to get a AAA player, which is a goal. I mean, we get a AAA player that can provide this value. We must make sure they are not a top 15 prospect for whatever team we are trading from. That is a good restriction because it means that it is not a player that is going to be openly valued by the team that we are getting them from. In addition, we can get guys in Rule 5, players off waiver wire, as well as free agent AAA players that we can attempt to acquire. That's going to be a big part of building this team up because those are really, really cheap players. And it might be a nice way to try to find players that can really boost the on-base percentage average while not necessarily costing us as much money once arbitration kicks in. In a roundabout way, this is saying this is going to be a difficult rebuild. Essentially, we have a small window. However long Paul Skenes is under contract, so till 2029 is really our only chance of this window because Skenes is, I think everybody knows, not going to get re-signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates when he becomes available. And so with this 5-year rebuild, we're going to be a little bit constrained. We're focused on this. We're going to have to cut guys who get too expensive in arbitration. If we have to deal with O'Neill Cruz costing us $25-30 million in arbitration, I hope not, we are going to have to move him, and it's going to be players that we're going to have to trade away. Thankfully, we do have a good farm system of top prospects with like Connor Griffin, Bubba Chandler, and a few other players like Tamar Johnson as well. And each of these players could be valuable pieces down the road. However, it is important to note that when we are drafting, we need players that are going to be good right now. So drafting is not going to be a priority in this rebuild. You're probably not going to see me do my big boards and drafts this year for this rebuild. We are going to run through it because we're going to be doing a lot of math when it comes down to every single free agency and the off seasons. Now, hopefully, we can build a team that can win within this 5 years because we do have a very short window. So, less yapping. I've done a lot of talking. Let's get into our Pittsburgh Pirates Moneyball-ish rebuild. It's not necessarily Moneyball. And see what we can build here in 2025 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I will, however, show our first draft here. Maybe I'll show the second. Maybe I'll show some of the draft picks, but I'm not going to do the whole big board thing. We're just going to run through the first pick. Essentially, I'm going to take Jonas McCain. Looking at prospects, essentially what I'm looking for are guys that are, I don't need the 99 potentials. I need higher overalls. So 72 to 77 is a pretty good overall. I've got a few other guys like this. Maurice Kendrick, that's pretty good. Lowry's a little further away, but we do have guys that are around that 60 to 70 range. I obviously put other players too, just so that I have some trade assets to be able to use as well, because you do need those. But taking a look, there's a lot of guys that I think are within this range. I think the big one is going to be our top guy, but we will draft more guys as well. I think Jonas McCain could end up being a stud for us at first base, especially if this scouting is accurate. So, Jonas McCain. Paul Skenes is an all-star for us. He's pitching a 2.85 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 135 strikeouts. Our ace is doing pretty well, though he's 8-5, not winning as many games as I would like. I don't necessarily think we have any other all-stars, just from a quick, likely look. No, we do not. That's because this team is very bad, 40-57. But really what I should show you here is we actually started off not too bad. We were winning the division after April. Going into May, we were winning the division, and then just plummeted in June and July so far, just not being able to keep the team really performing at a high level. We're going to sign our picks, and I guess I don't think I'm going to I might trade some of the expiring deals here at the deadline just so we can get some, decent prospects back. And because we're bad, we also need to move off money. We are currently over our budgetary constraints because of contracts, meaning that I'm going to have to dump some of the deals that are a little bit more expensive. Andrew Heaney is going to be one of those. Technically, we need to save $8 million. This saves us 12. We're going to get 2 older C potential prospects in Travis Blankenhorn, who is not going to have any value for them, but is cheap contract, so he could be interesting to have for a while. And a pitching guy, also AAA, who is having a good season. I might call him up right away. And once again, renewable, so we'll have him pretty cheap. And that'll save us some cash. Now, one thing we can do that is actually going to be pretty fun to look at is we can go to AAA and AA, but mainly AAA, and take a look at on-base percentage to see what players that we would value looking around the league. DJ Stewart is somebody we have, so maybe we bring him up. That would be somebody who, if he's playing well and he's 6th in on-base, maybe he should be. Maybe we trade for 33-year-old Travis Jankowski. Wouldn't be a bad move. Mike Ford, he's a catcher, 376. I'm looking at guys that are a little older, that are having high on-base percentage. But we can also look at prospects and stuff too using this. This is something that we can do in order to try to find players that maybe would have some value to bring up. We can do the same thing looking at whip for pitchers and see that's a prospect. Probably not going to be able to get him. Will Warren, that's 25-year-old. Some of these guys might be a little harder to find, but if we cross-reference these players with their, the prospect rankings of each team, we can find some players to look at. I think the big one that I'm going to go look at, though, for the rest of the season is probably going to be Jankowski, which I'm blanking in. Did I go past it? I must have. Jankowski, Zach Short. Yeah, let's go look at those guys. And so we're going to trade for Travis Jankowski, who is regressing, but whatever. 1 year out of him. We'll see what we can do for him for the rest of the year. We're going to trade away Tommy Pham, Caleb Ferguson, Tim Meza to save and shed some cash in this as well. This will continue to save us some money, and we'll bring in a guy in Jankowski who could be decent for the rest of the season. And one more deal we're going to do to get a prospect. We're going to get Yorbit Vivas from the Dodgers. Yankees. He is not a top 15 prospect for them. So when we are trying to move off of IKF, who's expiring, wouldn't be a bad deal for us. He's also hot right now, so works out. He has a little bit more value for them. We can get Vivas, who has C potential, and a reliever in Ryan Yarborough. And that should be our moves of the season. Sadly, it looks like Jonas McCain was only an 81 potential, meaning we do miss on this pick. Though he has a good bat, he's already a 72 overall. He can come up right away. Looks like none of the other guys were necessarily close. They're in the 50 overall, so it's going to be about 3 years till any of them are good, which sucks to see. Not as great of a draft for us, but as we attempt different strategies, we will always find different success. I do want to go look at some of the guys we didn't take. I don't find myself kicking myself too hard. Maurice Kendrick was the only other guy that I think has a decent value for us for any picks. This is a very weak draft, so while we didn't necessarily get a great player in Jonas McCain, he's going to be good enough for what we're looking for. This team was not good this year, 65-97. We missed the postseason by a lot, and I think because of that, I have to look at whether or not we're still within budget. We cut a lot of money, but it's going to be pretty rough to hit that number. We end the season with $134.7 million in revenue, a revenue sharing amount of $28.61 million, thanks to us trading players away to better teams, which means that we actually have a lot of room to work with. So we ended up having a grand total of revenue of $163.3 million at the end of the day. That's a good amount of revenue to work with. And because our salaries ended up getting all the way down to $96 million, we end up with having $67.3 million left over, which by ratio wise means we have a lot of room to work with. We were looking around 47 million. We are at $67 million left over. Arbitration is going to kick in, but it does mean we have about a $20 million gap extra to spend this offseason. Now, we have to see what we get for the arbitration offers for some guys, but we can spend a little bit of cash this season to make up for our losses. We can see what our revenue is next year, but we were $20 million short, meaning we made extra money for Bob Nutting. Good for him, I guess. Your MVP this season is Shohei Ohtani, who hit .313 with 52 home runs, 145 RBIs in the season. Soto in second, Schwarber in third. Cy Young goes to Corbin Burns of the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 3.4 ERA, 209 strikeouts. It's actually not that bad. It's not that great, I guess, is essentially what I'm saying. When I look at MVP on the AL side, we see that Yordan Alvarez gets that award by, not necessarily a crazy season, but 56 home runs will do it for you. And your Cy Young goes to Jacob deGrom with a 3.08 ERA. We do have some league leaders, mainly Paul Skenes, the 2.86 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP, and the highest WAR of all starting pitchers at 3.9. Very, very good season for him. Acuna led the way with batting average with a 329 average in the NL. When it comes to hits, Trey Turner hit 200, meaning that he leads the way in that department, and your home run crown is Shohei Ohtani with 52. For pitching, Matt Strahm led the way with 49 saves for the Phillies. ERA crown, as we said, was Skenes, and your strikeouts leader was Spencer Strider. Skenes did have 224. Great season for him. Your batting average leader was Nathan Lukes of the Blue Jays. Really good for him, 321 average. Altuve was second. Hits leader was Andres Jimenez of the Blue Jays. They must have been pretty good this year if they had both leaders there. Your home run leader was Yordan Alvarez with 56 home runs. Saves leader on the AL side was Tyler Holton with the Tigers, having 50 saves. And then ERA crown, Garrett Crochet of the Red Sox, who now under my rosters is extended long-term with the Red Sox. He will not be going anywhere. And your strikeout leader, Jacob deGrom of the Rangers, as he got his Cy Young and led the league in strikeouts. The pitching staff was not very good. Johan Oviedo had a 6.61 ERA, 1.7 WHIP. Ashcraft, okay, that's 3 innings. Stratton, 4.5 ERA. McGinsky had a 2.99 with a 1.22 WHIP, not bad. Yarborough was pretty good when we brought him in, 2.28 with a 1.01 WHIP. Rating went up, potential went up. Got him for 3 years. That might end up being a good trade for us. Dennis Santana, 3.91, not really great. 3.98 from Holderman and a 5.66 from Bednar. That's terrible, man. Hopefully we can get him to be cheaper under arbitration next year. Looks like Skenes, 2.86, 1.09 WHIP for our ace. Phenomenal season for him to be able to do that. Jared Jones, 5.07, 1.41. Not good from him. Need to see something better from him next season. Keller, 3.3, 1.15 WHIP, not bad. Zephyr, who we traded for, ended up coming up 3.8 ERA, 1.52 WHIP. Why was he starting? That's a mistake on me, but he wasn't bad, so I can't be mad. I guess that's why Oviedo got as many games as he did. And 4.13, 1.37 WHIP for Bailey Falter. I guess Zephyr was an opener for us. Lineup-wise, Jankowski got sent down after we brought him in, though did have a 3.46 OBP, which I love to see from him. Not bad. He is a free agent this season, so he is somebody who we will be losing, sadly. That is somebody we are going to have to mark down as a replacement. Joey Bart, 230 average with a 307 on base. Nick Gonzales, who kind of platooned, played 112 games, had a 260 average, 299 on base percentage. Triolo had a 307 on base percentage, 214 in only 38 games. DJ Stewart only got 60 at bats, so not enough of a sample size. Peguero never actually played. Nick York came up, replaced, IKF, and ended up being pretty good. 332 on base is not bad for me. 244 average is okay. Brian Hayes, 247, only a 308 on base. I need to see a little bit more out of him though he was a positive WAR player because of his defense. I need to see some more offense out of Ke'Bryan Hayes. Ryan Reynolds, a little expensive for what he's giving us, but I'm hoping that we can see better production. He did get 32 home runs, which we'll take, but when his ratings went down across the board, I don't like to see that. Cruz was not very good at all. 227, 282 on base percentage. We're gonna hope he's not gonna need a lot in arbitration. Spencer Horwitz, 245, but a 331 on base percentage, 18 home runs. Not bad from him. He is still pretty cheap. Sawinski, 328 on base percentage, 234, and hit 22 home runs this year. A lot better from where he was last year. WAR-wise, 2.6 WAR. So back to being a decent player. Adam Frazier was one of the guys I didn't get rid of. Had a 330 on base percentage, hit 277 at second base this year. And then Andy Rodriguez, our other catcher, 265, 327 on base. We're going to have to look at some guys that we're going to move off of this offseason. Mainly in the pitching staff, what we're going to have to replace, Jankowski, what we're going to have to fix, Frazier. So we'll pull out the math and actually see what we're replacing in a moment. And then we'll go into free agency. But first, let's just go sim the postseason, see how this goes. Oh, whoops. The Diamondbacks defeat the Twins in the 2025 World Series in 7 games. Good for them. Gabriel Moreno wins the World Series MVP. Carroll was second. Marte, because he had 5 home runs in the postseason. Very good. And Trevor Larnach had the postseason MVP for the Twins. That's a team that is generally built around pitching. So we'll see. We have about $20 million extra dollars to worry about with arbitration, plus free agents. Let's see what we can do going into this offseason. And so taking a look at our board going into this offseason, we are looking at a few different expectations for this year. Expected revenue is sitting at $144 million. Our revenue sharing is sitting at 28.9. With some of the contracts that we're working with, we're expecting about $62.4 million in arbitration estimates, though I'm hoping we can work around some of those with some trades and pieces that we need to move to try to get those negotiations. We are looking at having a total amount of revenue of $172.9 million, which means we are allowed to spend, to hit that 71.6% mark, $123.8 million on salaries this season. With us currently only having $39 million under contract, that means we can spend around 80 some million dollars this offseason plus the arbitration. We mentioned having a $20 million surplus. That means that we have the $62 million in arbitration estimates plus the $20 million extra to reach that money. So we are in a position where we can maneuver a little bit. We have also estimated, based off the 3 guys that are leaving, Frazier, Jankowski, and McCutchen. I forgot to mention him, by the way. They have an average on base percentage of 328. So that is what we are going to look for the 3 position players that we are bringing in. An average on base percentage of 328 or higher within this $20 million range that we can spend on the 3 players that we have. Now, we still have some moves that we can make, trades, and trying to clean up arbitration, like Bednar, for example, being overpaid. But we have to see what we can do and what players are available first. So let's get into free agency. In addition, the only bullpen arm that we are letting go is Joey Wentz, or the only pitcher. So we just need to find a pitcher that has a whip below 142. Sitting at $108 million in salaries, we have $15 million extra to spend if we need to buy somewhere throughout the season, and we're in a really good position. Taking a look at our roster, we did bring in a few guys in the pitching rotation. Remember, we had to bring in basically less than a 142 whip. We're bringing in Bubba Chandler, who is a rookie, so he was below that last season. Sadly, you can't look back at AAA last year, which is disappointing, but we are going to bring him up. He's going to pitch this season, and he will be that. But the actual signing that actually gives us numbers is Jorge Lopez, who had a 109 whip. We got him on a pretty cheap deal, 2 years, $4.6 million. And that is basically what we brought to the bullpen. Bednar did get a nice discount, thankfully, while some other guys went up in price. With that, I guess the question is whether or not we will be able to continue to perform the way we did with these guys. We have some room to work with, and we have guys that we can bring in the pitching rotation. When it comes to the lineup, though, we did bring in a few guys in order to get our averages. The ones that we brought in that you can see starting is Jonah Bride, who had a 313. That is a little bit below our average of 328. But we also brought in Jesse Winker, who had a 392 on base percentage. That will bring us way up. We brought in a couple guys from AAA, Wade Meckler, who was very good in AAA last year. We had to bring in Peguero, who is he just doesn't have any more options, so he's going to come up. Palacios was pretty good last year in AAA as well. In addition to this, we have a few guys in AAA that we can do. David Fry we got for a very cheap deal, 4 years, $4 million. If he can perform at a level that he did 2 years ago, that is what I would like to see there. Zach Short we were able to bring in, and I'm hoping that we can see him play. Another guy that we brought in that will also get our average up is Dylan Carlson. So Carlson had a 333 on base percentage last year. Brought him in on a cheap deal as well, just like we did with Canzone. A couple other guys here that we brought in that can perform at that level. Essentially, we have a lot of guys that now we can bring up if we need to. But as we look at this season, the question is, are we good enough? I think the pitching staff's going to have to do a lot of work here. In addition, I'm going to need a lot of production out of some of these guys. I do think we know that Jonah Bride can be good. If you're wondering where Spencer Horwitz is, he is injured. He got injured in spring training, missed the first 2 weeks. He will come back and take his spot once he comes back in. But yeah, so we have hit our average. We were shooting for 328 on base. We definitely hit over that with 333, 392, and 313. Jesse Winker pulling a lot of weight there. Essentially, Jesse Winker was our signing, and he was pretty expensive, but well, it don't matter. We have the money to spend. We are 15 million short on what we needed, so plenty of room to maneuver if we need to this season. Let's see what we can do. And one of the benefits to signing a bunch of guys on the margins, it looks like David Fry has moved up to B potential, and he has a 370 on base percentage. Triolo is sitting at a nice 363. And so if we need some help, which I think we do because Nick York is not playing very well right now, we are going to send Nick York down to AAA. We got to bring David Fry up. Oh, I have to add him to the 40-man first. And I have a full 40-man, so I guess we'll go Triolo first. We'll bring Triolo up. We could bring David Fry up, but I would need to find somebody else to get... Ooh, and Zach Short might be a guy I need to take off. He's not on the 40-man, so never mind. Peguero's not very good, by the way. Might be a player I can trade, though, because I know he is a top prospect relatively. Winker has been okay this season, but at least gets on base so far. So I think there's some things we could do a little bit, but mainly I think it's just I need to figure out this second base position because Nick Gonzales I had to send down because he wasn't good. Valdez, Nick York, can't seem to figure out this position. Peguero is now hot, meaning he is actually going to provide me some trade value. He does have an on base over 305. However, I want to bring up David Fry. I don't think Peguero is a long-term solution because I think Connor Griffin is at short. And so I want to go trade. The Mariners have two prospects that are not in their top 15, Hollis Dell and Michael Arroyo. I like both of them for their contact and their on-base percentage. Maybe they'll make it to the team. Maybe not, but I think that this will be better than Peguero. At the All-Star break, we have the number 1 and number 2 pitchers, Paul Skenes and Mitch Keller. Paul Skenes is your starter. Mitch Keller is the other. So our pitching staff seems to have pulled it together. David Bednar is also an All-Star for us. When it comes to the bats, I guess that's a big question for me. I don't know if we would have any. Doesn't look so. So our pitching is dominating for us, but that's kind of what we expected. It's what we need. We are also currently, though the NL Central is very good, we are winning our division. We are 17 games above, I guess, I always blank. Do I want to say 17 games above 500? probably. But we are way above 500. We are a really good team right now. Our offense is actually doing pretty well. We have a 36 on base percentage as a team, which is the best in our division and the best pitching staff in our division. So pretty good start for the year. The question is, can we keep this up? And we do have some money to work with if I want to make a move at the deadline to try to make this team a little bit better. Chase Midroth is amazing. He was really, really good in the last rebuild that I just did with the Cardinals, and I see he's really good again. He's 24. He's under contract. He's cheap. We should be able to get him and hold on to him. Now, this is normally a hard deal, but this is the White Sox. So what we're going to do is we are going to give them very good prospects. They are going to get Julio Castillo, a B potential prospect that is a second baseman. They are going to get Wyatt Sanford as well, a B potential prospect at shortstop, and Curtis Queen, a B potential prospect at catcher. This is an overpay for a C potential second baseman. But I think second base is a position we are struggling at. I don't necessarily know if Nick Gonzales or any of these guys can really produce the level I'm hoping they can. And if we're going to win, because we are currently winning our division, we need to win now. Midroth makes sense. And we hit real big in the draft with Philip Prescott being 68 overall with 95 potential. You can't really get much better than that when you are pursuing guys that are going to end up being players I need to bring up soon. And Philip Prescott could play like next season. That is what we love to see. I honestly think that we don't miss that badly on some of these other guys either. 89 potential in Monte Ferris. He's got good contact, good vision. Love that. Foley is not bad, but 77 potential isn't great. And then 48 overall, 67 overall for Shipman. Not bad. And then a 92 potential first baseman at the very end. Now, funnily enough, the number one ranked guy was still available when I took Philip Prescott, but I still think we might have made the right decision. I should probably check, though, who he was. So somehow he fell to the Dodgers. However, 94 potential. He is a 71 overall. He is technically better than Philip Prescott. But I like Prescott's stats more. I think Prescott will be more productive. And so, it's a good question. Which player is better? But I think Philip Prescott will be a very interesting piece for us in the next couple years. 96 and 66, and we win our division, going on to take the winner of the wild card playoff game. Very good turnaround. I think that's like a 33 game turnaround for us. Let's see how we did. We have an award winner, Delivery Man of the Year for David Bednar. We love to see that. And a batting title for Chase Midroth. Love to see that as well. Mookie Betts wins the MVP for the Dodgers, 284, 41 home runs, 116 RBIs, as the Dodgers just continue to get their awards. Cy Young goes to Tyler Glasnow. Paul Skenes right behind the 2.77 ERA. Sadly, doesn't get that, but Midroth gets it. 316, good trade for us as a leadoff hitter. On the AL side, Rafael Devers gets the MVP, hitting 52 home runs with 111 RBIs. And Joe Ryan with the Cy Young for the Twins. 3.67 ERA, 193 strikeouts. League leaders, Jared Jones in ERA, Paul Skenes in wins, Jared Jones in whip, and Paul Skenes in WAR, meaning that our pitching staff was very dominant, kind of what we were looking for from our top guys. In hitting, Chase Midroth with batting average. And you can see that right here. He had 316 to lead the way in the NL. Hits was Jurickson Profar with 197 for the Atlanta Braves, despite his suspensions. Christian Yelich actually had the most home runs in the NL with 42. Shout out to the old guy. Your saves leader is David Bednar, turning it around from last season with 54 saves. ERA leader, Jared Jones with Paul Skenes right behind him. 2 Pirates near the top. I know Keller was also probably up there as well, having a good season. And strikeout leader was Corbin Burns of the Diamondbacks. On the AL side, Alex Bregman led the way for the Red Sox, hitting 336. Very, very good for him. Hits leader was Luis Arias, who had 211 hits this season. Pretty good for him. He was a free agent. I don't even know what he signed for. Whoa, okay, good thing. Generally he's somebody I go after, but he was expensive. And then home run leader, Rafael Devers with 52 home runs. Saves leader in the AL is Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians with 51 saves. ERA leader is Grayson Rodriguez, pulling out a 3.08 ERA. And your strikeout leader is Cole Reagans of the Royals with 218. Taking a look at us, Zephyrjan did get sent down. He only played 17 innings. 3.63 in those 5 games, so not a very large sample size for him. I don't think Strzelecki or Strzelecki ever came up for us. So let's actually look at the major leagues. Bubba Chandler moved to the bullpen. He's an 87 overall already, but he had a 4.82 ERA, 1.52 in that long relief role. Kind of okay. McGinsky, 4.81, 1.49 whip for him. Jorge Lopez was a good signing, 3.63 with a 1.03 whip. Ryan Yarbrough continues to be a good trade piece for us, 2.12 ERA, 0.97 whip. Hunter Stratton came up near the end of the season, meh. Dennis Santana, 3.33, 1.15 whip in his contract year. Holderman with a 3.4 ERA, 1.26 whip. And Bednar, your reliever of the year, 2.59 ERA, 0.86 whip. Let's take a look at the pitching staff. Paul Skenes, second in the Cy Young, 2.77 ERA, 2.06 strikeouts, 1.04 whip for him. Jared Jones honestly might have been better, 2.41 ERA, 0.95 whip, 202 strikeouts. If he wins more games, he's probably in bigger contention. Probably actually deserves the Cy Young looking at his season. Just didn't get as many wins. Mitch Keller, 3.76 and a 1.26 whip. Falter, 4.13 and a 1.31 whip. And Johan Oviedo, 3.21 and a 1.1 whip. Much improved over where he was last season. I mean, last year he was a negative WAR. Now he's up to 2 WAR. So this is our pitching rotation, by the way. The question is whether or not Bubba Chandler will be a starter and Falter will go to the bullpen, or whichever, but this is our starting rotation. Taking a look at the lineup, Wade Meckler got sent down. Honestly, was not too bad as a Rule 5 pickup. Had a 324 on base percentage, hit 245. I think he slowed down near the end of the season because he was hitting around 280 most of the year, but slowed down at the end. It's still okay. Contact bat, love to see that, and he could probably play for us next year as well. I don't think Jonah Bride got sent down as well. 331 on base, 254 average. I kind of love Jonah Bride. He's very, very good. We're going to bring him right back up. I guess 0.2 WAR because he doesn't play great defense, but who cares? Good bat. That's what you like to see. And then Triolo got sent down because he was injured. 315 on base percentage for him. Not very bad at all. Taking a look at the lineup, Joey Bart, 291. 364 on base percentage for the backup catcher. Very, very good for him. Nick Gonzales, I brought back up. He was not good this season. 179 average, 222.3 on base. Nick York, same kind of position for him. 297 on base percentage. And David Fry. I mean, those three, none of them were very good. That's why we made the Madroth move, because we just could not figure out that second base position. And then Madroth was very, very good. 149 hits in his 129 games with a 316 average and a 400 on base percentage. Definitely a Moneyball type player that you want to get. Cabrian Hayes, much improved, 274, 323 on base percentage. I want him to be able to get on base a little bit better without getting hits, but still very good. Brian Reynolds, 271, 339 on base with 26 home runs. Love to see that. Cruz, much improved over last year. Still, I guess we're lucky that he's not expensive, but he's about to become expensive. And he's just not that great for us yet. Sawinski, 233, 328 on base percentage. So basically exactly the same as he did last year. Horwitz, much improved. Came back from injury from the preseason or from spring training. Hit 18 home runs after coming back from injury. 277 average, 364 on base. He's a very good player to get on base. We'd love to see that. Andy Rodriguez, 278, 319 on base with 14 home runs. Though his potential goes down, it's quite disappointing, honestly. And then Jesse Winker, our big signing, 266, 366 on base percentage. Pretty good. I think what we're going to do is we are going to call up Wade Meckler and Jonah Bride, and then send down like David Fry and Nick Gonzales. We could actually send down a couple guys, and we're going to make ourselves ready for the postseason because this team is pretty much ready. In addition, taking a quick look at our budget, $132.4 million in revenue, $38.7 million in revenue sharing, means we actually have, I guess, still kind of similar to what we were expecting. We are looking at $170 million to work with, and still at $107 million in player salaries. We still have $15 million or so to play with. And we didn't end up having to play with it, which means we are in a good position going into this offseason. And I don't think we'll have to cut anybody, but I don't know. We could see Sawinski could end up needing to go. We could talk about like Falter being expensive. We'll figure out what ends up needing to be replaced, but we're in a good spot. We are the 2 seed in the National League, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in the poop matchup. We should have the better pitching staff, which is saying something because Philadelphia is Philadelphia, and we are also underdogs. It does not matter that we have the home field advantage. They are the better team, and I guess we just kind of win these in 3 games, hopefully. But Paul Skenes versus Christopher Sanchez in game 1, we win that one 6-5. Very good. We get the win late. Santana gets the victory. Jared Jones versus Jesus Luzardo in game 2. Andy Rodriguez tore his hamstring, so he will be done. But we win 9-1. So Joey Bart, I think, will be able to take his spot. We are up 2-0 going into Philadelphia. Mitch Keller versus Andrew Painter. We sweep the Phillies. We will be going on to the NLCS to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks and Corbin Burns. I think they also got Vladimir Guerrero, because of course they did. But, okay, we don't have Andy Rodriguez, but I think that's still okay. Joey Bart is good enough. I want Skenes to pitch 2 games. So I think we're going to go to the pitching rotation quick. We're going to switch out. We're going to make sure that Skenes and Jones both get their 2 games, and Keller, honestly. We're going to do it like that. Falter is the one who's the worst pitcher of them all, so I kind of want to see Falter not have to pitch. We're going to go back to Skenes versus Burns in game 1. We take that one. 3-0 victory. Skenes is dominant in his second playoff game. Jared Jones in his second playoff game is not. Gets lit up. We are tied 1-1 going into Arizona. Mitch Keller versus Eduardo Rodriguez. We win that one. We are up 2-1 on the Diamondbacks. They're already going to Burns. We're going to go with Oviedo. Okay. McGinsky blows it. It is a 2-2 series. Falter versus Jordan Montgomery in game 5. We are down 3-2. It is down to Skenes and Jones. Can they pull it off against Font and Burns? Skenes in game 6 does bring it together. I think we are going to quick manage this next one with Jones. I want to see it happen. So we're going to go in game 7 of the NLCS in only our 2nd season. Everybody's playing pretty well besides maybe Meckler. But I don't really know what else I would do. So I think we're just going to stick with it. So going into this playoff game, let's see what we can do. Can Jared Jones pitch well? Okay. Not a good start, guys. Not a good start. We are down 0-2 in the beginning of the game, sadly. Jared Jones struggles against Jake McCarthy, apparently. And we go through the full order. Corbin Burns does, and we get no hits. So not a good start. Going into the top of the 4th, can Jones continue to try to kind of make up for it? And can our offense wake up? It doesn't look like it wants to. Spencer Horwitz breaks up the no-hitter, thankfully. But we are still in a bad position. Jones is pitching well. He's only given up 3 hits. Sadly, he gave up a big one in a home run. And Burns is still pitching a gem. Madroth does get on. Can Cabrian Hayes hit him in? He cannot pop out. Walk for Jones, fly out. Stolen base for Corbin Carroll, ground out, and a ground out. I think that is the end of Jared Jones's day. But we need some offense, guys, from our team. Still nothing. We are going to make the pitching change. I don't think Jones has got enough left in the tank. We're going to go to Holderman in the 8th. He loads the bases. We are now down 0-3. Horwitz walks. Double play from Meckler. Bart walks. Ground out from Winker. We're going to make the pitching change. We are going to go to, I guess, I'm just going to go to Keller. And this is it. Bottom of the ninth. Down 0-3. Corbin Burnes is still in there, but it looks like we might have a run here. We have a man on first. Let's enter. We have a man on first with one out in the bottom of the ninth. If there was ever an opportunity to win, it is right here. Brian Reynolds is on base, or is up to bat, then O'Neill Cruz, then Sawinski. We are going to just watch and hope that we can put it together here in the World Series with the pitch. If he's going to hang a curveball up high, Reynolds, you got to take it. Not a good look. 0-1 count for Brian Reynolds here in Game 7 of the NLCS with the pitch. He fouls it off. Not bad, but it's down into an 0-2 count. Burnes has left 2 pitches in the zone for Reynolds. Can he take care of a third? He's just going to watch it. Right, guys. That leaves it to O'Neill Cruz. The last out. He struck out twice. Corbin Burnes is pitching an absolute gem for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are attempting to win back-to-back World Series. With the pitch, ball low. I'm not really having a lot of faith. We have not been able to hit Corbin Burnes at all. And he hits a slider. Okay, now he's painted. He paints a slider on the outside. 1-1 count for O'Neill Cruz here in the bottom of the ninth with the pitch. He hits it. Will it get over his head? It will not. An amazing catch lets the Diamondbacks win, and they advance to the World Series here. But hey, we made a good run. In only year 2, 2026, we advanced all the way to Game 7 of the NLCS. Sadly, we could not get over the defending champion Arizona Diamondbacks, but maybe we can next year. And I like what we have. I like the team. We'll see what we have. The Diamondbacks do not win back-to-back World Series, though. They lose to the Orioles in 5. Taking a look, Colton Cowser gets the World Series MVP for the Orioles. On the American League side, Alec Thomas had the playoff MVP for the Diamondbacks, and then Colton Cowser had it for the Orioles. So Diamondbacks don't go back-to-back, but hey, we went to Game 7 in the NLCS in 2026. The pitching staff is all going to stay here, besides maybe Falter. And the lineup should stay mostly the same, if not get better. Maybe we can bring up Jonas. But I guess we just need to see how much money we actually have going into this next season. But for now, we will, move on. If I'm managing a full season, doing all the scouting and all that, generally it takes me, I can get about 2 seasons done per night if I'm thinking about it. And we have 5 seasons, so you can see I'm in a different outfit. It is day 2, and we're going to try to finish this tonight. Now, the reason I stopped where I did is because we are going to be in a different position than we were last year. Because of all the salary adjustments that we got, because we made the playoffs, our expected revenue and our revenue sharing combined are way higher. However, we are running into the moment when Paul Skenes is going to get expensive. So, looking at our numbers, looking at the board, we have a projected revenue of $182.9 million. That's a significant increase over where we were the past 2 seasons. Now, the benefit to this is that it does mean that we have a lot more money to spend. However, we also have a little less revenue sharing this year. $26.3 million, because now we are contributing a little bit more of the money. Now that number could go up if the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Braves continue to sign free agents, but for now that means we are estimating we're going to have around $209 million to spend. With our 71.6% limit that we're trying to due for Mr. Bob Nutting, that means that we have a total of $149.83 million to spend on team salaries. Now, that doesn't seem that bad. That's actually a really, really good amount of money. However, we have run ourselves into a bit of a predicament. We currently have $57 million of players under contract at the moment, and this upcoming season, we are currently expected to have about $104 million in arbitrations, thanks to, of course, Skenes. And I guess Jared Jones now too. With that, that means that we are currently around or $11.83 million over what our expected revenue would be able to be, meaning we might have to cut money. And sadly, Mr. Nutting is not going to give back the money that we saved him the past 2 years when I didn't spend the extra $20 million. So this free agency, we are going to have to try to retain as much talent as possible, see if I can lowball some contract offers, but also we're going to have to cut some money, and we have players to replace. One of the main reasons you can find us in a tough position amongst anything is because we are losing David Bednar, Dennis Santana, and we're probably going to have to move off of Bailey Falter if he's going to be expensive. Now, the reason that's an issue using our Moneyball techniques is Bednar had a .86 whip this past season. We look at Santana, he had a 1.15, and thankfully at least Falter had a 1.31, but we had a really good pitching staff. Replacing that means we need to look for an average of 1.1 whip on the players that we bring back for essentially negative money because we don't have the money to afford them. Or we have to use minor leaguers. And through taking a look at free agency, I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot of guys that I think could be very interesting that fit that lower whip consideration in the pitching staff. Could we try to sign one of these guys for a cheaper deal, see if we can get lucky, see if we can save him, maybe we can get Bednar back, and see if we can get lucky, and then replace the rest with Rule 5 and waiver pickups? I think that might have to be the method. Santana, $5.6 million. I like it, but I don't necessarily think he'll be able to, be able to put that back. Bednar, coming off a reliever of the year, I want to just kind of keep him. So we're going to put him on our list. But the other thing that we're going to have to look at when it comes to this team is other positions that we could possibly replace for cheaper. The big problem, as I look to this team, and I'm just gonna lock in, I'm gonna come back and change it, is if we look at the guys in arbitration, Paul Skenes, who wanting an offer, if we look, we can get an estimate. He wants around $17 million. Okay, obviously you pay him that. If we look at Jared Jones, he wants around $11 million. You pay him that, or $12 million. O'Neal Cruz, he wants $12 million. I don't know if he's worth that, and he gets more and more expensive every year. So we're in the position where you might have to ask, is it really worth paying him that kind of money? Does he produce at that level? Or could we trade him for a piece that could provide something similar? Johan Oviedo is looking for $17 million in arbitration. He might be a guy who we might have to move off of, which means we are looking not at, I guess he averages it back to another 1.1 whip because he's on his last year of his deal. He might make more sense to move off of. Sawinski is sitting here, and he is looking for about $8 million. There's a couple guys. I think Falter is looking for $7 million. Holderman is looking for about $3 million, so we can afford, I think, $3 million. What is Joey Bart looking for? I mean, that's pretty expensive for Joey Bart. 5.5. I don't know if we need that. We do have Henry Davis and Eddie Rodriguez. Could we move off of Joey Bart? This is going to be my thing throughout this offseason. It's going to take me a while. I'm not going to walk you through every single step, but I will show you the math once we are done with the moves that we have made, because we're going to have to make a lot of them to make this money work. Remember, our target is around $149 million in total salary by the time everything is said and done. We are currently projected to be around 160. So let's see what we can do to retain as much of this team as possible while cutting some costs. Now, I will note, I don't necessarily know if this is the most Moneyball decision that we can make. However, the way I look at it is, Brent Rooker is $12 million. He has sat around a 315. I mean, this is a down year, maybe, where he has been around a 330, 320, 360 on base in these areas, somewhere in there. If I can get him for Triolo, who has been about the same in on-base percentage, so a similar flip for Triolo, and then also for Suwinski, who is a little bit better, meaning that we do need to find another replacement. Maybe that's just going to be Rooker. Maybe we will take the little bit of dip in on-base percentage this season, or I'll have to find somebody who takes the average. I get like a 320 on-base bench bat in replacement for Suwinski and Triolo, and I feel like that would fit it. We still need to then replace, I guess, Oviedo, but that means I think I'm not going to move off Falter. I need another pitcher, and it sucks to lose Oviedo, but he was going to be a free agent next year, and we weren't going to be able to bring him back. So Oviedo's got to go, and then that just means I need another starting pitcher. So we are going to save money this way, because Suwinski was looking for about 8. Oviedo was looking for about 17. Triolo was probably going to be looking for around 5, I think. No, he was going to be looking for about like $1 million or so. But with those in mind, we should save some money by getting Brent Rooker and a pitching prospect. Maybe this pitcher will be the one who we bring up. He's a AAA guy, so we'll see what we can do. But that's the big trade we are going to make. I'm going to try to hold on to O'Neill Cruz for now. We didn't necessarily do what we said we were going to do. We brought in Dylan Dodd after getting rid of Oviedo, so he doesn't exactly have numbers to back up necessarily what he was this past season. And that's because we brought back Santana and Bednar. I got both of them for cheap deals, $5 million and $4 million each. I don't know how I got that lucky with those contracts for those two. So we did not have to replace them, meaning the only guy we had to replace is Oviedo, and we did with a AAA player, so I'm hoping Dylan Dodd can be good. If not, we have Braxton Ashcraft, who also doesn't really have numbers. Alex Wolf, who doesn't have numbers. Hunter Barco. There's a couple guys who we technically could bring up in his spot, but maybe Dylan Dodd will be good, and that will be hopeful for the pitching staff. So technically, we just had to replace Oviedo this season. And in the lineup, we got rid of Suwinski, Triolo. I moved a couple guys around, but essentially that means that we had a 328 on base and a 315. So we needed to have a 321 average. When we brought back in a 315 in Brent Rooker. And the other player I brought in, Nathan Lukes, had a 342. That's clearly above the average. So the two guys I brought in should be an improvement. Now, let's get to the budget stuff. We got a little lucky based off the trades that we made for Brent Rooker. It meant our expected revenue number did go up. We are in more of a competition, so we are now up to a expected of 187 over the original 182. In addition, because I saw the Braves made a bunch of signings, our tax went up, so we have more revenue sharing. It is up to 27.61. That means our total budget is $215.31 million. Once we do our calculation for the 71.6% that we calculated at the beginning of the rebuild, we have a total to spend of $154.16 million. Now, if you recall, we were originally projected to be at 160, and we needed to target 149 within the last calculation and cut 12 million. We are at 147 million, so we would have made it anyways, but we have the money to spend as long as we make the playoffs. If we fail to make the playoffs, we're going to have to make some cuts. We really cannot afford to lose, and every season we go from now on, we're going to be cutting players. I don't have the money unless we continue to get higher expected revenue. So we are right on the fringes right now with this budget number. We'll see what we can do. Let's get into the season and hopefully contend for another World Series. We made it to the Game 7 in the NLCS last time. I want to see us in the World Series this time. Here at the All-Star break, we are 58-39, only up by 3 games on the Brewers, but still in a very, very good position across the league. If you look at the wild card, we would still have a good gap, technically, if the Brewers weren't right behind us. But we're in a good position. I think that we have a very good team this year, and that's despite having injuries. Skenes right now is an all-star with a 277 and a 109. I don't know if this is going to be Cy Young caliber this season, because Alcantara is having a good year, but he could. He just needs to win a couple more games. Keller has been phenomenal as well, and that's been nice to see. So we've got 2 really good starters this year. And then closers, Bednar has been good too. None of the rest of our bullpen has been very good so far. And I think when I look at the actual lineup, we're pretty weak otherwise besides Brent Rooker, who has 31 home runs and his potential's an A. 31 home runs at the All-Star break. Fantastic trade for us for that to work out, for him to have 31 home runs and now have a potential for $12 million. And he was the All-Star Game MVP. Good for him. But yes, we are in a good spot there. Now, notably, I have to go show this in the lineup quick. Brian Reynolds, I think, tore his ACL, something like that. Or maybe it wasn't that bad, but he's out for a long time. Meaning I had to bring up Meckler. Meckler's been pretty good since he came up. Luke's has been good. Midroth has been worse, but he still gets on base. And then honestly, our worst players have been Endy, who I think I might trade here at the deadline if I can, save a little cash, because Joey Bart probably deserves that spot. Jonah Bride hasn't been good this season. That's not good to see. And then they brought up Alika because I don't have any shortstops, because Connor Griffin I don't think is ready yet. And Jonas McCain is ready, I would say, but we might as well wait one more year before we bring him up, because I think this team is still good at first base with Spencer Horwitz. The question will be how much money the team is going to cost next year before we bring up. I mean, I guess Henry Davis has 3 years here, so I can bring up Henry Davis this season, and then we have him on renewable for the next 2, and he'll be cheap. Ramon Ramirez could come up soon for Joey Bart, and I'll have 2 catchers. So we're in a spot where I think we can start moving some guys up. Talk about Philip Prescott being a guy we drafted. Jonas McCain can come up next year. Nick York, I think, could come up if he continues to play well. We're in a good spot with a couple prospects. Pitching staff, on the other hand, not so much. But Dylan Dodd is phenomenal. So trying to replace Johan Oviedo, Dylan Dodd has done that. Falter's bad. We knew that. Dylan Dodd's been good. Let's see what we can do for the rest of the season. I might trade Endy Rodriguez. I think we have a little bit of extra cash, so I could buy, if I need to, and buy a bullpen arm, because our bullpen is garbage. But we'll see what we can do here at the deadline, and try to make another run. I actually thought about it this way. I went around the idea of the league and went to see which teams were contending that had a pitcher that was cheap relatively for his value. Kyle Harrison is that. He has not been that great in his years up in San Fran. San Fran is not a bad team. They're just not a great team. And so we are going to give them Bailey Falter, Endy Rodriguez, and an A potential first baseman in Brian Leone, because I have a feeling that Kyle Harrison could be far more valuable as our 6th arm or 5th man in the rotation if we need him to be. I need cheap assets. He seems to be a good one. Kyle Harrison, welcome to Pittsburgh. 103-59, we will be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. We did win the division, and we won over 100 games. This is going to have to be the year, I think, because I'm going to guess we're going to have to make some cuts if we're playing this well, and things are going to get expensive. We have the National League MVP in Brent Rooker, who had 46 home runs, 122 RBIs here for us in Pittsburgh, hitting .296, an amazing signing for us. Taking a look, Hunter Green wins the Cy Young. Really? Okay. Hunter Green wins the Cy Young. Paul Skenes gets snubbed this season for the Reds in the NL. On the AL side, Gunnar Henderson wins the MVP for the Orioles with also 46 home runs. And the Cy Young is Garrett Crochet of the Boston Red Sox. The person who probably should be the Cy Young, Paul Skenes, has a 2.42 ERA, leads the league in that, and leads the league in WAR with a 4.9. We also have the leader in home runs and RBIs in the NL with Brent Rooker having 46 and 122. Your leader in batting average and the batting title goes to Xavier Edwards, hitting 342 for the Marlins. He also led in hits, hitting 205 hits for the Marlins as well. Taking a look at home runs, we saw that Brent Rooker led, and O'Neal Cruz was right behind him in second. He's going to be expensive. Okay. As we look at pitching, your saves leader is Tanner Scott of the Dodgers with 52. Bednar did finish in third with 49. ERA crown goes to Paul Skenes with a 2.42, beating out Yamamoto by a good amount there. And then your strikeouts leader was Hunter Green with 237. On the AL side, the batting title goes to Aaron Judge, hitting 338 for the Yankees. He did not lead in hits. That was Luis Arias of the Rays, hitting 198 this season. Very good for him. Your home run leader was Gunnar Henderson, beating out Judge by 1. Colson Montgomery finished third. Saves leader is Josh Hader, having 57. I don't think I've ever seen him put together a good season in this game, but 57 saves for Josh Hader. Shane McClanahan gets the ERA crown with a 2.56 for the Rays. The Rangers had two guys right there. Maybe they wish they had Brett Rooker as well. And the strikeout leader is Garrett Crochet. We do have to look at our pitching staff and look at guys that got sent down. Jorge Lopez got sent down with a 5.05 ERA and a 1.52 whip. He had a very bad season this year for us, and he got sent down. Yarborough got sent down, but didn't deserve to. 278.93 whip in his age 35 season. That was a great, basically steal of a trade back in 2024. Dari Moreta, 5.4, not very good for him. Strzelecki, I don't think ever came up, and Nicholas came up with an 8.53. As I said, our bullpen was pretty bad. Kyle Harrison did have a 3.98 when he came over. Very good for him. Much improved over Falter. He will probably be in the starting lineup next season. McGinsky, okay, 5.73 ERA, but 1 whip. I know it's only 11 innings, so I guess that's a small sample size. Holderman, 3.82. Zephyrin, I think I had sent down because he was bad, 5.23. Stratton didn't play. Santana wasn't good. Santana was a bad signing, it looks like, for us. But Bednar was pretty good still, 2.86, 1.11 whip. The deserved Cy Young, Paul Skenes, 2.42, 1.07 whip. I mean, look, he was better than he was last year. And I guess just didn't get the opportunities because he didn't get the wins. Jared Jones, 3.22, 1.16 whip. Bubba Chandler put together a good season with a 3.46 and a 1.24 whip. Keller was really good, and Dylan Dodd was very good. Our starting lineup was amazing this year, especially after we got rid of Falter. And it's going to get expensive because I think 2 of them are on arbitration. 3 of them are on arbitration. We'll see what we have to do there. Bullpen is going to need some replacements this offseason. Lineup-wise, Wade Meckler got sent down, 3.73 on base percentage. He was very, very good for us up in the lineup. Don't necessarily know if he deserved to get sent down. Jesse Winker was not good. This contract hurts. Bad year for him after such a good 2 years there. This contract does bite a little bit as we take a look at it. Jonah Bride also got sent down, doing about the same. So Winker, Bride, probably going to have to try to move off of them and package them with an asset this offseason because I don't think I can afford to pay those guys. Taking a look at the actual lineup, David Fry came up after we moved off of our catcher because I wanted him to be the backup catcher. Was decent in the time that he came up. And then Alika Williams was the shortstop. I kept trying to send him down. Game kept bringing him back up because we didn't have a shortstop. I had Cruz play shortstop this season. Chase Midroth, not good respective to what I normally see out of him, but still 267, 367 on base. I mean, he's still a phenomenal second baseman. So I'll take it from him. Nathan Lukes was very good, 299, 366 on base, and we still have him in the outfield. Cruz is our shortstop, and he played very well, finding the power this season. 39 home runs, 900 OPS. What type of WAR did he come home with? 6.5. He's going to be pretty expensive. Your MVP, Brent Rooker. Horwitz was very good at first. 298 average, 379 on base percentage. He is going to arbitration. Brian Reynolds spent most of the season hurt, but even when he was here, he played well. 19 homers, 309 average, 899 OPS this season. We do have him under contract, but he might be I guess he's not that expensive, but we're just going to have to see what money we have to work with. Gonzales, 268, 312 on base, playing second this season. Joey Bart as our catcher, 277, 340 on base. He is a free agent. He will be out the door this season, meaning Henry Davis will take that spot this next year. And then Cabrian Hayes, 250, 303 on base percentage. I mean, is he at least providing good WAR because of defensive? Not really. Down year compared to what he was last year. I need to see him shoot back up to be worth, I guess he's only $9 million a year, so not too bad. But this is a playoff team. We have a good position here. I'm going to probably bring up Meckler and maybe just Meckler for the playoff run. So I think all we need is a little bit of offense to get through the playoffs. With how good our pitching staff is, I'm in a position where I would say all we need is a semi-decent offensive postseason to get there. And I think we've got the guys with Rooker and Cruz and all the players to do that. But let's see if we can do it, and the bullpen cannot lose us games. So, Skenes versus Eduardo Rodriguez in Game 1 against the Diamondbacks. Okay. We win that one 5-2. In Game 2, Jared Jones versus Corbin Burns. We take that one 4-3. Okay. Even a bullpen win, we'll take it. Going into Game 3 in Arizona, Bubba Chandler versus Brandon Pfaadt. We do lose that one 2-6. Bubba Chandler did get beat, but I think Mitch Keller is in a good position to pull this one out in Game 4. And we do. We'll be taking on the Braves. I think I'm going to go Dylan Dodd. He's been very good this season. We'll go with Dylan Dodd in Game 1 against Spencer Strider, and he gets the victory. Hunter Stratton does, at least. We go 1-0 up on the Braves. Game 2, Skenes on the mound versus Schwellenbach. We lose that one. Bednar blows the save, it looks like. Well, he pitched 3 innings, so this might have went into extras. I actually have to look at today's games. It didn't go into extras. That's this one. No, it did go to extras. And, yeah, Bednar blew it in the 11th. We did get a go-ahead or a tying run in the 9th, in the bottom of the 9th. So, okay. Game 3. Jared Jones versus Reynaldo Lopez. We take a huge victory. Tons of offense from our team. I love to see it. Home run from Horwitz. Home run from Gonzales. 4 RBIs for Horwitz. So maybe that was a grand slam. Did we get 2 grand slams? Horwitz grand slam, Nick Gonzales grand slam? I'll take it. We're up 2-1 going into Game 4. Bubba Chandler versus Lucas Giolito. We lose that one. It is a 2-2 series here in Atlanta. Mitch Keller versus Spencer Strider. We need this victory. Come on, Mitch Keller. 5-1. We are up. 3-2 going back home to Pittsburgh. Dylan Dodd will take the mound against Spencer Schwellenbach in Game 6. And we win. We will be taking on the Twins or the Red Sox. The Red Sox in the 2027 World Series. We have gotten there. Okay. Now can we get over the hump and do this? We have the pitching staff, and our offense has shown up so far in the postseason. Game 1, we have Skenes on the mound versus Tanner Houck. We take the victory 4-3. We are up. Going into Game 2, Jared Jones versus Brian Bayo. We lose that one. It is a 1-1 series. This is going to be Bubba Chandler versus Garrett Crochet in this one. Need to see it. Can Bubba pull this one out? We do. We are up 2-1 on Boston. Mitch Keller versus Tanner Houck in Game 4. Colin Holderman is out. We will just bench him. Victory. Let's go. We are up 3-1. We have Dylan Dodd on the mound. I think we are going to go in quick manage this one. Dylan Dodd, 8.31 ERA in this game, by the way. But I want to make sure we are safe with our guys if need be. Skenes and Jones are ready for 6 and 7 if we don't do well. And everybody's playing very, very well this postseason on the offensive side. So let's get into it. What can we do? O'Neal Cruz solo home run to take a 1-0 lead here in the first on Cutter Crawford. Dylan Dodd gives it a single, and we give it right back. That Hassan Kim on that team? Okay. A single, men on the corners, pop out, sac fly. They are now up 2-1. A stolen base for Devers. But that's a rough start for Dylan Dodd here in the first game of the playoffs. First elimination game. But we are down 2-1. Single from Joey Bart. Brian Hayes flies out. A walk. We've got a man on first and second with 1 out for Nathan Lukes. And he hits into a double play. Okay, bases loaded. I think I am just going to go right to Kyle Harrison. And we do only give up 1 at least. Though Dodd had a terrible start to start off this game. Rogers gets a double, strikeout, and a 2-run home run for Jarren Duran. We are down 5-1 here, but we still have the offensive capability to come back if we need to. Walk for Nathan Lukes, fly out. 2-run home run from Rooker. We are back down 2 in this one. We see if Harrison can continue. I don't really want to go to the bullpen if I can avoid it. Bullpen is not good. Triple for Brian Reynolds. I'm going to shoot for the sac fly. He does get it off. Okay, we are down 1. You need to get those runs, and I don't know if Nick Gonzales is the guy. So,
take your base. Take your base. Ball 4.
I should have made the change. We will go to Yarborough against Roman Anthony. He gives up a single. We are now back down 3. Should have made the pitching change. Okay. It is the top of the 8th. Midroth strikes out. Luke strikes out. Cruz pops up. We have righty, lefty, righty. We are going to go to Stratton. Ground out. Walk. Stolen base for Duran. Strikeout. And strikeout. It is down to Brent Rooker versus Justin Slayton. He grounds out. Spencer Horwitz strikes out. And a single from Reynolds. We still have some possibilities. Nick Gonzales. That looks like an out. Okay, we lose that one. That's kind of on me. Dylan Dodd and Kyle Harrison were not enough to take down the Red Sox, but we are up. This is going into game 6. We have Paul Skenes versus Brian Bayo. This is a good shot to win this one. Okay, quick manage. We are now at home. We're in Pittsburgh. We got the yellow jerseys on. Yes, I love it. Paul Skenes on the mound. Mlbtheshow has not been good, but that's okay. This is all down to Skenes. We had an error, but he got a double play. Fly out, ground out, and a double for Cruz. And a single. We take the lead 1-0 on the Red Sox. Another single. Horwitz gets it over, and a pop-up. Skenes just needs to get through that. Stolen base for Tristan Casas. And a run scores. Blake Sable gets a single after the 2 walks. But 1-1 game. Not too bad. Joey Bart gets on base. Men on the corners for Mlbtheshow. I'm going to go for the sac fly. We do get it, so we take the lead back. Nathan Lukes gets a single. We have a men on first and second, and a ground out for Cruz. Strikeout, walk, pop out, and a ground out. Pop out, single for Horwitz, and a double play. Skenes gives up a double to Roman Anthony. And Marcelo Meyer hits a 2-run home run to take the lead. Okay. We're still in a good position. We're only down 1. Nick Gonzales with the single. Strikeout for Joey Bart. Fielder's choice. Brian Hayes is now on first, and Mlbtheshow gets out of that one. Strikeout. And, okay. Double for Nathan Lukes. Can Cruz hit him over? He strikes out. Brent Rooker strikes out. Come on, we had a man on second, guys. Let's go. Tie the game up. Spencer Horwitz, he's 3 for 3 on the day. Gets on base. Fielder's choice, but we continue to get through this. Double play, we're still fine. Bottom of the 6th, Nick Gonzales up to bases. They switch to Luis Perales, who has not been good this postseason. Nick Gonzales gets on base. That's a single. Joey Bart strikes out. Brian Hayes with a fielder's choice. He's now on third. Mlbtheshow does not get through it. My problem is Skenes is low stamina, but I don't know if I trust any of our bullpen. So I'm going to stick with Skenes.
Ball 4, take your base.
I have to make the... No. Fielder's choice, men on the corners. Okay, we're going to do... We're going to go to Yarborough against Duran. He gives up a single. Fielder's choice. Come on, Yarborough. Get me through this against Devers. Oh, he gives up a single. We are now down 1. That hurts. Okay, bottom of the 7th. Nathan Lukes grounds out. O'Neill Cruz grounds out. Brent Rooker singles. Horwitz flies out. We're going to make the pitching change to, I guess, Stratton. Single, strikeout. Another single. They are now up 6-3.
Ball 4.
8-3. I don't know. Santana. Double. Can you tell the moment that Skenes came out of the game? Reynolds gets a home run. I feel like demoralized here. I think Pirates fans would be too.
He's safe.
I don't know. McGinsky. Just get me out of this. Okay. Making a rally. Not enough of one. The bullpen blows it. All right. Game 7. Jared Jones, Garrett Crochet. I'll bring Skenes in relief if I have to. All right. Please do not blow a 3-1 lead. Please do not blow a 3-1 lead. We are going to go Jared Jones on the bump. Or do we go to Mitch Keller? Okay, we're going to go Jared Jones. As soon as he gets in trouble, we're going to Mitch Keller. Okay? That's the plan. That's the plan. Fly out, single, strikeout. Okay, we get through that. Single for O'Neill Cruz. Strikeout for Lukes. Single for Madroth. Strikeout for Rooker. Strikeout. Jones, strikeout. Okay, that's not trouble, but we do give up a home run to Marcelo Meyer. We are down 1. Nick Gonzales. Let's go, Nick. I have not had a lot of faith in you, but let's go, Nick. Tied the game up. Double for Cabrian Hayes. Strikeout for Joey Bart. A walk. We have men on first and second for O'Neill Cruz against Garrett Crochet. He strikes out. Nathan Lukes. That was ground out. It is 1-1 still. Fly out. Ground out. Single for Bregman. And a pop-up for Devers. Madroth versus Crochet. That is a... Okay, 2 pop-outs. A single for Reynolds. But it's still another pop-up. Jared Jones. Fielder's choice. Ground out. We get through that. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Cabrian Hayes with a single. Joey Bart. Strikeout. Horwitz with a walk. We have men on first and second for O'Neill Cruz. 1 run scores. We do get a runner that gets thrown out, but we are up 2-1 after an O'Neill Cruz double. And a single. Men on the corners for Madroth. And another single. We are up 3-1. Crochet is tired. They're going to Priester. He's not even on the team anymore. Brent Rooker. I love you, Brent. I love you so much. 6-1. Oh. What would we ever do without Brent Rooker? Jared Jones gets to that inning.
Ball 4, take your base.
Oh, so much more relief. Thank you, Brent Rooker. Droth hits a home run, too. 7-1 lead. Strikeout, fly out. Jones is just dicing him up now. Ground out, walk for Cabrian Hayes. Jones, we're going to keep letting him go. Hit by pitch. Okay, never mind. We're going to make a pitching change. I am going to go to Keller. Strikeout. Walk. Fielder's choice, men on the corners for Casas. And we get out of that. Bottom of the 8th. Single for Horwitz. Fly out. Fly out. We got a big lead. 9-1. Okay. I know what everybody wants to see. Here's what we're going to do. Fly out. Ground out. Pitching change. Hi, Paul Skenes. Let's go into Game 7. I just want to see him on the mound. in the World Series. Paul Skenes gets to take the mound for the last out. That's what we want to see. He pitched yesterday, but 102 miles an hour. That doesn't matter. We are up 9-1 here in Game 7. We almost blew it. But Skenes, another dot. 0-2 count. 2027 World Series. Can we have moneyballed our team into this with the pitch? Paul Skenes grounded down. O'Neal Cruz grabs it, throws it to first. Spencer Horwitz catches it. The Pirates are the 2027 World Series champions. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, it would have been better to win in 5, but but I'll take it. Game 7, Skenes on the mound. We do it. Brent Rooker hits a big home run. Oh, we still got 2 more years of Skenes too, and Jared Jones. And that World Series is going to give us some cash to spend. We should have money. Not as stressful. We're going to 2028, trying to repeat while we still have this. But I was afraid this team wasn't going to have a chance. We signed a bunch of Moneyball players. Nathan Lukes, Wade Meckler, Horwitz is technically probably one of those. We got Brent Rooker in, which was a huge move. We have pitchers like Dodd was a big move in order to save us this season. But we've done it. We've won the World Series in 2027. As we held up the trophy.
Chris Singleton and our outstanding crew. I'm John Shelby. This has been the World Series on MLBTheShow.
World Series MVP is Brian Hayes. And your playoff MVP is Nick Gonzales. Oh, that's great to see. It wasn't even Rooker, who did hit 7 home runs on the run. It was 2 guys that we had originally. Who, I mean, Gonzales was terrible last year, and he turns it around. Wow. Okay. I'm stressed after that. Casas gets postseason MVP for the Red Sox on the other side. Let's go into 2028. Let's check our budget and see what we can do. I'll be completely honest. Last year's revenue stuff for me took probably an hour and a half real time, I would say, to manage every contract. I had to sign everybody and manipulate every contract to try to fit within that 149 million last year. We were able to do so. It just took a lot of time. So I don't know if I'm going to get through all 3 seasons tonight, but I'm going to try on this. You might see me in another outfit in the in another season. But this season, we are expected to hit $242 million of revenue, which does give us a little bit more room to work with. However, revenue sharing is only down to $14 million, meaning we're at $256 as total salaries. Once we include our nutting tax, our 71.6%, we are down to only having $183.67 million. Now, that doesn't sound bad. Once again, last year we were at 154. This year we're up to 183. However, Skenes, Jones, Cruz, they're all going to continue to get more expensive. With that in mind, you have to remember too that we do have some guys like Winker we can move off of. I actually think we're going to be okay this season in budget. With that in mind, I think we're at $72 million in contracts. We already looked at about 13 million or so that we were considering cutting and getting rid of and moving off of. And so with that in mind, I think we'll be okay, because I think the expectations is to add another 100 million in contracts that we need to sign and arbitration offers, So we should settle around 160 to 170 million by the time we're done. I'm not going to worry too much. I think we're actually going to be in a good position this season. Players that we have to replace: bad bullpen arms and Joey Bart. And I don't know if we're going to Moneyball our way through Joey Bart, because I think we're going with Henry Davis. I don't think we're going to go Moneyball our way through Jonah Bride, because we have Jonas McCain, who has been hitting 353 like in AAA. So, and Henry Davis has had like a 300 plus on base, and Ramon Ramirez has had a 300 plus on base. Our guys in AAA will be able to make up for the mistakes of these guys. Winker will be able to be replaced pretty easily by even just Wade Meckler. So I'm not even going to worry about running through the numbers for you this season, because I don't think we have to. I'll show it once we end up having our team at the end of the offseason as we try to run it back. But we're in a good position because of the extra money that we have to work with. Thank you for winning the World Series so we could actually have 183 million. If we were sitting at 160, I'd be concerned. We find our lineup going into this year at 173 million. Now, actually, as the projections came out, they actually dropped down. So good thing we left ourselves some space. In fact, I had to sim a little bit further into the season because I had to trade, or like sim the first week, because I had to trade somebody because we needed a little extra space. I had to get rid of Colin Holderman because we were over the dollar amount. He was 5 million. We were at 178. Technically, our budget only now restricts us to 177. So we were a little over. I got rid of Holderman, and now I guess we're okay. So starting rotation this year is Skenes, Jones, Chandler, Keller, Harrison. Dodd is going to be in the bullpen this time. And our bullpen is different. Dennis Santana is still here, but we brought in Jason Foley, 3 years, 15. Trevor Stephen, I have 1 year left on this. Justin Martinez, 2 years, 3 million. And then Bednar still has 2 years left for 5 million each year. And then in the lineup, we have Henry Davis up. I brought up Jonas. David Fry is going to be our backup catcher. Well, that's why the lineup is weird. Tamar Johnson and Mitch Jebb are up. They should not be up. Why do I have like 25 second basemen up? But I'll fix that. But essentially, we are in a position now that I think we'll be okay budget-wise. I'm just going to bring up probably Baginski. So I do have an extra bullpen arm, and I'm going to send these two down, and then we'll replace them with an actual backup catcher. We'll bring up Ramirez and all that. So Ramon Ramirez, add a 40-man. He will be our backup catcher. Now David Fry can be there as well, and we are fine now. So I think this year what we're going to end up doing lineup-wise is I'm going to try to figure out how I can get Jonas to play while continuing to let Horwitz play. That means we're going to have to balance out a lot of this first base position, this DH, and second base, because I want chance for Jonas to play at first or DH. Maybe Madrath is at second, and we move Gonzales. We could just try to move off of Gonzales, but he was just the playoff MVP. Maybe Brian Reynolds needs to get moved now. He's already got negative overalls. Okay, we have 2 years left of this. So the question is whether or not we can compete this year. I want to see if we can repeat. I'm pretty sure we can. Offensively, we were so dominant last year that I have a lot of faith. Okay, there was a lot of red. But I have a lot of faith in what we can do this upcoming season. We have Jonas. We have Prescott on the way. We have Connor Griffin on the way. We have players that can come up and take the place of these guys that are expensive. For note, on contracts, O'Neal Cruz got $14 million. This is the end of his time and his contract. We did get lucky with the deal that we got out of him. But he is done, meaning that Griffin is going to come up and play shortstop next year. Or we have, York could play short too. Gonzales could play short technically. But this is the last year with O'Neal Cruz. So our outfield is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have Meckler and all that in that spot. But pitching staff, Skenes got 28 million. He's probably going to cost me 35 next year. Jones, 19. He's probably going to cost me 28 next year. Chandler is still cheap. He's probably going to cost me like $10 million next year. Harrison, $8 million. He's probably going to cost me $15 next year. I think we have to win the World Series to be able to keep this team together. Your all-star starting pitcher is Paul Skenes. Maybe this year we can get him the Cy Young. He's 12-3, 2.63 ERA, .94 WHIP. He's been dominant the whole time we've been doing this. The question is somebody else going to be better than him? And it looks like Shane Bieber is the big threat this year for him right now. Well, actually, it's normally wins, so it might be Javier Assad. It looks like the NL Central is stacked. Good to see. In the bullpen, we also have David Bednar is currently an all-star. He has a 2.34 ERA, though Devin Williams is probably the best one there. And then, do we have any others? Chase Madroth gets an all-star, hitting .310 right now, 12 home runs for him as his bat wakes back up after last year. Love to see that. And then Brent Rooker is also an all-star. He's hitting .313, 28 home runs off of his MVP season. He's playing even better. That's it for us for All-Stars. We are currently leading our division 62-35. We are 12 games above the Cubs in very, very good position. Second ranked team, first in pitching, second in contact. We don't have to make any moves at the deadline. We are straight up just trying to make the push to win another World Series so that we have the money to spend. So we will see what we can do. I know technically it's probably a smart move to try to make a trade at the deadline here, but I don't think there will be anything that would make sense for me. I think we found our move we might make at the deadline. Starlin Caba is he's on the trade block for the Marlins. Now, realistically, I don't think in most cases you would make this deal, but for us, this is only a one-season deal, and I might not even play the dude. But so I'm only making it because I'm giving them an A potential pitcher, a B potential third baseman that is also at the same level in Severino, and another B potential left fielder in Suero. So at least we'll have a shortstop, though I'm probably going to play Connor Griffin next year. 101-61, we will be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. That's a good position to be in. That means that we win a lot of games, we stayed within budget, and we should have some extra money. Like I said, it was a tight year, and I'm concerned. I didn't actually play Caba. I sent him right down because I wanted to save him for next year if I need him. And I think I had to bring him back up for September. But we are in a good spot. I know that we played well, and I actually saw Jonas was insane this year. We get the Cy Young from Paul Skenes. We get a Hank Aaron for Jonas? Rookie of the Year for Jonas, that makes sense. And an MVP for Rooker. Okay, Rooker, amazing. MVP, back-to-back. Jonas finished third? I'd probably say Jonas, he's American. Can you tell that the first time I ever heard a person named with that name was probably Jonas Valanciunas and not the Jonas Brothers? So, yeah. He's Jonas to me. Jonas McCain. He's so good. 44 home runs. What's the record? I think it's like 47, something like that. That's insane. Rooker with the MVP. Paul Skenes at the Cy Young, 284. He finally gets it. Which is funny because in the past 5 seasons, this is his worst year. Probably of 2025 was his worst year. That's crazy. But he does get it this year. 284 for him. It's the second in batting title too. Rookie of the Year for him. Hank Aaron, he won over Rooker. On the AL side, Gunnar Henderson wins back-to-back MVPs, and Shane McClanahan with the Twins wins the Cy Young with a 2.88 ERA for himself. Taking a look at league leaders, Mitch Keller leads the way in ERA, Paul Skenes in wins, Skenes in innings, Skenes in whip, and Skenes in WAR. And on the hitting side, McCain in home runs, Madroth in walks, McCain in slugging, and McCain in OPS. He had 1,000 OPS in his rookie season. Vladdy has the batting title, hits .330 this season. Very good for him with Jonas right behind him. Hits leader was Vladdy, 208. Mlbtheshow was second with 197. I don't think McCain even started at the beginning of the year, so he's probably a little bit lower. Like, McCain did that in 125 games. Okay. Home run leader. What? Okay. Your saves leader is Tanner Scott of the Dodgers with 52 saves. The ERA crown goes to Keller with Skenes right behind him with a 2.84. And your strikeouts leader was Roki Sasaki of the Dodgers. On the AL side, Yordan leads the way with a 3.18 average for the Astros. In hits, Walker Jenkins at 205 leading the way. Lorky Rodriguez. Okay. All right. Sorry. Interesting player to see 193 hits from. And then home run leader was Aaron Judge with 43 for the Yankees. Edwin Yusita leads the way in saves for the Rays with 48. Your ERA crown goes to Sandy of the Guardians. And the strikeout leader is Crochet of the Red Sox. I brought up Zefirjan during September. He gave up no runs. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, everybody else stayed up all year, and we had Harrison with a 4.79 in the bullpen. I moved him to the bullpen right away. He did not start off the season very good. Honestly, that should help because that should make him a little cheaper. Santana, 3.76, 1.14 ERA. Foley, 2.47, really good. Steven, 2.96, 1.34. McGidsky, 3.67, not bad. Martinez was very good with 3.02, 1.14, and Bednar was very good as well with 3.49. Our bullpen is significantly improved. Steven is the only guy who will be out next year. We'll be able to keep everybody else, so I can bring back like Zefirjan back up, which will be nice to have. Lineup-wise, your Cy Young finally, Paul Skenes, 2.84 with a .99 whip this season and 225 strikeouts. Jared Jones, 3.79, 1.22 whip with 186 strikeouts. We see Bubba Chandler with a 4.07, 1.24 WAR. Honestly, not that upset about him having a bad year going into arbitration. Should make him a little cheaper. Keller is amazing, 2.74, 1.03 whip. Though his contract is up, that is very disappointing to see. And Dylan Dodd was not that good. But remember, he's a Rule 5 pickup. Nathan Lukes got sent down. He hit 260 this year. His on base dropped to 311. We'll probably move off of him this offseason. And I've got guys that can take his spot, so I think that's okay. Major. Look at the contact lefties, just major regression in that department, especially. He was good for last year, which is fine. We won't bring him back up for the postseason, because I know we've got like Wade Meckler here. So Meckler hit 238 in 151 at-bats. Nick Gonzales hit 231 this season, 279, 16 home runs, but I'm hoping that will make him a little bit cheaper. If not, I might just move off of him now that we have Caba as well. Ramon Ramirez, 267. Doesn't get on base a lot, but also only 30 at-bats, so not a large sample size. Nick York was pretty good, 256, 333 on base for him. Caba, 130, wasn't really for us, but was pretty good. Mlbtheshow, 310, 22 home runs, 89 RBIs. He was an all-star. His potential goes up to a B. He had over a 400 on base. He might be expensive in arbitration. Brian Reynolds, 266, 27 home runs for him. 334 on base for him in his season coming back from injury. A little bit worse than he was last year, but I think that was just because of the small sample size of last year with the injuries. Though he's a 0 WAR player, so I think what we might do is if we have to shed money, Reynolds will probably be the guy who has to go just to save us some cash. O'Neal Cruz, 271, 28 home runs, 99 RBIs in his last season with us. He did very, very well this year, and I'm hoping that can get him get us enough once we make it to the playoffs, but he'll get a big contract from somebody because we're not going to be able to pay him. Rooker, another MVP, back-to-back MVPs. Hey, if you're doing a Moneyball rebuild and you don't have Brent Rooker on your roster, or you're trying anything Moneyball related, trying to save for a budget, Brent Rooker is the greatest Moneyball player probably ever. In anything I've seen. Last year, he was amazing. Real life, he's amazing. He's $12 million and still is going to provide more value than that this upcoming year. They signed him to an extension, and $12 million feels so cheap for what Rooker can bring. He is unbelievable. I feel like he was necessary once we actually end up doing a A's Moneyball rebuild. Rooker's going to be there. Jonas McCain, 125 games, 156 hits in 125 games. He's getting more than one hit per game, 44 home runs, over 1,000 OPS in his rookie season, with 4.8 WAR in his rookie year, and a Hank Aaron Award and a home run champion. If we give him first base alone next year, if he produces like this, are we going to see 60 home runs out of this dude? Maybe. David Fry is up to an 82. This has been a phenomenal pickup for us. Remember, we got him for $1 million that we picked him up for in free agency after 2026. And he is now a very good player that will have a lot of value for us this upcoming season as a bench utility player or an outfielder. This could be our reason why we can get rid of Reynolds, because Fry can play right field. Horwitz, 283, a little bit of regression. But, I mean, still, 366 on base percentage. The only reason you see a little regression here is because I don't know where to put him right now. Brian Hayes hit 2.8, a potential. He has a potential. 280 average, 340 on base for him, 11 home runs, and another gold glove for him defensively. Henry Davis hit 240 with a 344 on base percentage. He's an 82 overall and still cheap. This team's in a really good spot. Let's go win another World Series so that I have enough money and maybe I don't have to get rid of Reynolds, Cruz, and a couple other guys. But if we can win back-to-back, that's going to be a good spot to be. We have the Diamondbacks for the second straight year. We're going to be going Paul Skenes versus Corbin Burns in the first game here. 5-game series for us. Pretty sure we're still in a good position. We have the better pitching staff. I mean, we know what this team looks like. I'm hoping that we should be in a good spot to win this. Game 1, Skenes versus Burns. We get the dub 13-2. Great offense. Jared Jones versus Ryan Nelson in Game 2. We do lose that one. Looks like more of a bullpen loss, if anything. But Jared Jones does get the L because our offense didn't wake up till later. We are tied 1-1 going into Arizona. Bubba Chandler versus Brandon Pfaadt. We get a 2-0 victory. Good pitching outing for Chandler, who goes 7 1/3 with 0 earned runs. In Game 4, Keller versus Burns. We lose that one. Keller gets lit up in 2 2/3. That's going to leave us Dylan Dodd versus Ryan Nelson in Game 5. Oh, we do win, though. And now we have the Dodgers, and we get to go right back to the top of our lineup. Skenes versus Ohtani in Game 1. We win, but at what cost? Okay, pitching rotation. Okay. Can we just get a sweep, guys, so I can have Skenes back? Game 2, Jones versus Sasaki. 3-7. Bednar blows it. 1-1 going into LA. Chandler versus Yamamoto. We win that one 5-4. Whew. Bullpen, late inning game. 2-1 lead as we go. Mitch Keller versus Shohei Ohtani in Game 4. Guys. I'm low on pitchers, but we're up 3-1. Dylan Dodd versus Tyler Glasnow. Oh my God. Thank you, Dylan Dodd. Can this series please go 7 so I can get my pitchers back? Keller's back. Skenes is back. And we have the Yankees. Okay, all right, let's go fix this. That was a scare, but okay. We are going to go Skenes back to the top with Jones. I think we can actually just set our lineup normal and do it this way. I'm going to go Keller, though. We'll go back to normal. Okay. Skenes, Jones, Chandler, Keller, Dodd for this series against the Yankees. Can we win back-to-back World Series? We've had a really dominant run thus far. Skenes versus Max Fried in Game 1. takes the L. Skenes coming off of the injury. Not a good start for him. It looks like if I look at today's games, he does get beat up pretty early in this game. But okay, it's okay. It's one game. Jones versus Luis Yil in game 2. We win that one. It's 1-1. We're going into New York. Hey, we've done that in every series thus far. That's okay. Bubba Chandler versus Patrick Sandoval in game 3. We haven't done that. We are down 2-1. Mitch Keller versus Rodon. It is tied 2-2. Dylan Dodd versus Max Fried in game 5. Okay, we are going into game 6. I guess it'll be Skenes and Jones for these 2 games. So let's let's quick manage. Quick manage. Here we go. Skenes, we're in the yellows. We actually do have a bullpen. 286, 277, 333, 233 from Rooker. Rooker's not having that great. Fry, 310. Horwitz, 282. Yeah, our bats are good. I mean, I guess Davis is whatever, but all right. Besides Rooker. Okay, we should be fine, guys. Volpe, Black, Judge, Dominguez, Wells, Chisholm. Okay, this is the Yankees. Start off, we give up 1 run to Judge right away. Skenes with a little bit of a rough start. We do get a walk and a 2-run home run for O'Neal Cruz. We take the lead 2-1. Double from McCain, and we pop up. Okay, fly out here. Error and a triple for Oswald Cabrera means that it is 2-2. A walk for Bellinger. A single for Volpe gets him back on the corners. Sack bunt to move him over. Bases loaded for Dominguez. Skenes! I don't think Skenes is healthy. I don't think he's healthy. Bases loaded for Brian Reynolds. I don't think Skenes is healthy, guys. I don't think he's healthy. 6-2. We do have men on first and second for Horwitz. He pops out.
Ball 4, take your base.
Bases loaded. We're making the pitching change. I guess we got to go to Harrison. He does get it out. Okay, Hayes hits a home run. It's still 6-3. We still have a shot here.
3. Ball 4, take your base.
Single for Cruz. Fielder's choice, men on first. Pop out for McCain. Okay, 1-run game. David Fry, 2-run home run. Jake Cousins is now in. This is a 1-run game.
Take your base. Ball 4.
Hayes walks.
3.
Davis strikes out. Madraw strikes out. And Reynolds flies out. Harrison versus Chisholm. Lombard and walks Cabrera. Single. We're going to make the pitching change right here for Volpe. We are going to go to Foley for 1. Okay, we get out of that. Bottom of the 7th. Cruz, Rooker, McCain. Middle of the lineup. Cruz. We're making a pitching change. Grounds out. Rooker, wake up, buddy. You're the MVP. You're the MVP. You're really the MVP. Ground out. Single for Fry. It's tied.
4, take your base.
Foley's got to come out. I might have made a mistake right there by having him go a little bit longer. I don't have lefties, though. So I guess we're going to go Martinez. Strikeout. Wells gets on. Fielder's choice. We're back down by 1. Brian Hayes versus Alexis Diaz here in the bottom of the 8th. Grounds out. Henry Davis flies out. Madroth flies out. Fly out. And this is going to be it. Reynolds, Cruz, Rooker, McCain. Against Ian Hamilton. We have a single. Let's go watch. We're going right in. We have a man on first. No outs for Cruz, Rooker, McCain. It's the middle of the lineup. It's exactly what we want to see.
Late stages of this one, nobody out in the ninth.
We're here in PNC in the bottom of the 9th.
Cruz in the box.
He lets a slider down low. Cruz takes the strike.
Base runner, you gotta stay dialed in here. Look
Cruz can walk it off right here. He already has a home run on the day.
1-run game, bottom 9.
Strike inside low. I'm expecting a swinging miss on this pitch, honestly. Okay, slider inside, takes the ball. 1-2 count for O'Neal Cruz here in Game 6 of the World Series with the pitch. Low. Ball in the dirt. 2-2 count now for Oneil Cruz. If he gets a ball into a gap, that should be enough to score. He just stares at it by. He stares at it and watches it go by. Oneil Cruz gets struck out. Brent Rooker. He was the hero in the 7th. Can he be the hero in the 9th? I need it. I need it, buddy. Brent Rooker, your MVP, back-to-back. With the pitch. Oh, he was swinging for the fences there. Misses a little early. He was expecting the fastball. Ball was a breaking ball. 0-1 count here for Brent Rooker. In the bottom of the 9th, 1 out. That slider hung. He could have hit it, but he waited for it. Was a ball up high. 1-1 count with the pitch. Swing and miss. 1-2 count for Brent Rooker here with Reynolds on first. He gets this ball in the outfield. That might be enough to get him in. Misses just inside him. 2-2 count for Brent Rooker here in the bottom of the 9th with the pitch. Rooker fouls it off. Still 2-2. He has worked his way back into this. McCain is on deck. So if he gets on, there's still a chance. Rooker in a full count here against Ian Hamilton with the pitch. Ball low. He uses his eyes. Men on first and second now for Jonas McCain here. Wade Meckler is going to come in and pinch run for Rooker. That's going to leave Jonas McCain in the bottom of the 9th of Game 6 of the World Series. Can he fight us back into it? Slider down, low and inside. He takes it for strike 1. This is tough. With the pitch. Ball low, outside, sinker. Pittsburgh fans are on their feet, waving their towels. Will they be able to see their rookie be able to hit Reynolds, maybe even Meckler in with the pitch? Fouls it off. 1-2 count. Misses the sinker a little high. And that puts him in a rough situation. Can McCain get out of it? Luckily, fouls that one off on that pitch low and inside. Takes the ball outside. 2-2 count now for McCain. Little patient. As long as he's fouling the ball off, he might be in good spots. But I want to see it hit hard. I don't want to see him swing at that, so I guess I'm okay. 3-2. Back to a full count. He has fought his way back. Can the rookie get it on base at least? Fouls it off. He's a little bit behind it, but it's okay. 21 pitches so far for Ian Hamilton here in this inning with the pitch. Kane takes a hack, could not keep up with it. That's going to leave David Fry to be the last man standing for Pittsburgh here in Game 6 of the 2028 World Series. Can he do it? He hits it. That's popped up. And that's going to be the end of this Pittsburgh Pirates team this year. Couldn't get it done here in 2028. Skenes had a bad outing. He was injured. He played. I don't think he was ready to be back. He rushed himself back to try to win another World Series. And it's not going to be enough. The Yankees win it in 2028. We do not repeat. But we have one more year with this pitching staff, with Paul Skenes, with Jared Jones. Can we make it one more time? O'Neal Cruz is our playoff MVP. The World Series MVP goes to Cody Bellinger, who hit 3 home runs in this playoffs. And the postseason MVP on their side was Aaron Judge, followed by Tyler Black and Austin Wells. All right, let's see what we have for money. See what we're going to have to do, what cuts we're going to have to make. Team's going to look a lot different going into this final year. This is our last budget check, and the last time that you're going to see my face, I think, in this rebuild. We have an expected revenue this year of $283.5 million. It's a lot of money. Now, there isn't much revenue sharing anymore because we are on the top of the league. So we only have an extra 5. That puts us at $288 million. With our nutting tax, we are down to $206.68 million for salaries. That's a good amount of money. Remember, though, Skenes is probably going to be 30, and we're talking about Jones being 25 or so. Harrison's going to be expensive. We lost Keller, meaning we're going to have to pay somebody. I'm going to have to spend money in free agency. I don't think, realistically, I'm going to be able to pull off a whip-for-whip comparison because Keller was like a .94 whip. And I think that's a hard replacement. I will look to see if we can moneyball our way a little bit through it. But I think we've done the most part with that with David Fry and Horwitz. David Fry is the quintessential part of this rebuild. The fact that we got him for 1-point-something million per year, and the fact that he is a productive member of the team is a big piece to this. Rooker being 12. We have Brian Hayes at 8. I might be able to move up Brian Reynolds if I need to save some cash. We probably will move up Brian Reynolds, to be honest. And we'll see what we can do. Meckler is still cheap. I guess I'll see you at the end of free agency. Also, do want to show Jack Sawinski did get a Silver Slugger for the A's. I mean, he's a free agent. They didn't bring him back either. But he was still very productive for them. And they could have brought him back. They just didn't. So, I mean, we got a 2-time MVP, but I don't feel like we burned them too badly in this trade. Year 5, and we made it just under budget. And the way we ended up making up and trying to fix the Mitch Keller problem. Mitch Keller got $30 million from the Red Sox per year. We are trying to replace him in the aggregate. 2 guys for 1. Jose Barrios, Barrios. I always forget how that's pronounced, but very good the last couple years. He's 34. He's a little older, and I got him for 1 year, $13 million. Not bad. And we got Braxton Garrett, who also has not been that bad the last 2 years, for $12 million a year. So we have a long-term option in case Barrios isn't good. Kyle Harrison is here. I also brought in Logan Evans because I needed to shed some money. Santana is out. Brought in Porter Hodge off of the Rule 5. Got lucky that he was available. He was not good the last couple years, but we were able to get him. So our lineup is going to be Skenes, Jones, Chandler, Barrios, and Garrett, with Harrison and Dodd on the bench. They can obviously rotate. We could put one of them in. I don't care which one. It's going to be whoever the 5th best pitcher is going to take that 5th spot. And lineup-wise, we actually did not have to give up Brian Reynolds because we actually stayed just under that number. Now, Reynolds, if he is bad, I'm not that worried. We have Meckler, who I think can take the spot for a temporary position. Fry is obviously going to be here as well if we need that. And then at any point, we can bring Philip Prescott right up if we need to. And I'm probably going to do that at some point in this season. Connor Griffin can also play in the outfield. I brought him up. We're going to start Kaba, though, because I do think that having an on-base machine, just like Madroth, will be good to set the table for Rooker and McCain. But we need to be consistent. We are just under the budget. We're sitting at $192 million, which is not bad. We're actually plenty. We're $14 million under, which is a good spot to be. That means if we have to make a move at the deadline for a starting pitcher, we have the ability to do so. And we have contracts that I can move if need be. So, final season. Can we get a revenge? Let's go for it. At the All-Star break, Skenes once again is the All-Star starter with a 2.3 ERA, .89 whip. He does look like he's going to have some competition, though, from Skubal for the Cy Young this year. It's going to be a battle between the Mets and the Pirates. We'll see what it is. I mean, even Eflin could sneak his way in. Taking a look at the rest, Bednar is also an All-Star. That's good to see. 261, good for him. So far, Jonas, 30 home runs at the All-Star break. He's hitting 260. I think that's probably around his peak, though, for potential. I don't believe he was a very high potential player. So, I don't know if he's going to develop any more than that. It doesn't matter. It's the last year of this rebuild anyways. But he is doing phenomenal this year. 30 home runs already. Probably leading the way. Probably leading the MVP race if that's what he's got. Taking Josh Rojas is an all-star. Okay. Do we have any others? No Rooker. So Rooker is likely not in the MVP race this time. We are winning our division. We are up by 11 games over the Reds, 61-36. The question is, I guess I'll look to see if there's any moves I should make here at the deadline. But I did bring up Prescott because Meckler was playing horrible, and Prescott's hitting 314. So we've got a really good lineup here right now. Meckler was playing pretty bad. Reynolds is not playing that well either. So I guess I could move Reynolds right now. A little bit of a down year. We go 95-67. However, we're still taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game, meaning I guess the NL in general is just having a down year. But I mean, I guess that's what happens when you lose O'Neal Cruz and Mitch Keller. So see how we actually did. Okay. There's no way that that's the guy that I would say would be like the best guy I've ever... Okay. It's not the best guy I've ever drafted, but oh my God. In his second season, Jonas McCain, 99 power. He was like an 81, maybe 82, 83 potential. So he's just been playing out of his mind this season. 99 power versus righties and 10 plus lefties. In 150 games, he hit 61 home runs in 169 hits. He is exactly the same 1,012 OPS, just like last year. 6 WAR this season, as he did play more. This dude hit 61 home runs in his second career season. He is 25, and he already has 2 home runs in 2 seasons. Prince Fielder? Like, maybe? Like, okay. Jonas McCain, MVP. Riley Green had a great season, but it's hard to beat 61 home runs. Cy Young goes to Hunter Green with a 3.53. That is his second Cy Young. Very good for him. Burns was second, and Skubal was third. So no Skenes in that race this year. On the AL side, Rafael Devers wins the MVP for the Boston Red Sox with Jenkins and Jack right behind him, and McClanahan gets a back-to-back Cy Young. So it looks like Skenes did lead an ERA again and whip again. So that's like, I think like 3 out of the 5 years that he did that. 2.48 ERA. McCain leads in home runs, RBIs, and slugging percentage. Doesn't lead at OPS though. Riley Green with the batting title, hitting 339. Casas right behind him. Soto and Alvarez Jr. right behind them. Hits leader 207 for Riley Green, with Leodalis DeVries behind him with 204. 2 guys over 200 hits. And then your home run crown, he had like 19 more than second place. And Rooker had a great season too, still at 38, but didn't compare to what McCain did this year. In pitching, Joel Payamps has the most saves, 51 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. ERA crown goes to Paul Skenes, who has a 2.48. Jose Barrios, good signing. He had a 2.8, finished third for us in ERA. And then your strikeout leader was Spencer Strider of the Braves, like usual. There's a Rocky up here. On the AL side, Jurickson Profar, maybe using some steroids, hitting 322 and leads the way, gets the batting title on the AL side. Hits leader is Jarren Duran of the Red Sox with 210 hits. Your home run leader was Jack Caglianone I always forget if it's Caglione or but there's an extra N, so I think it's Caglianone. I don't know. I just keep hearing people say it Caglione. I'm like, that doesn't seem like how it's supposed to be said, but I could just be stupid. But 42 home runs for him. Devers also with 42. Luke Weaver with 60 saves for the Tigers leads the way. On the AL side, your ERA crown goes to McClanahan. And then strikeout leader is Pablo Rosado, 270 strikeouts. This is one of those Ks per nine pitchers that get drafted that are pure Ks per nine. Tons of strikeouts. Let me guess, 467. 448. Okay, not that bad. The game did send down Logan Evans. He had a 4.41 this season, 1.45 whip. Might not have been the best move for Santana, but he's cheaper long term. And then Zephyr Jan also got sent down, but had a 1.8 in the 5 innings that he pitched. On our actual team, Harrison, 375, 116 in the long relief role. Dodd, 313, 091 in his long relief role. Foley, 361, 113 whip. McGinsky, 292, 105 whip. Martinez was our worst bullpen arm, looks like. 428, 124 whip. Porter Hodge, 367, 141 in a Rule 5 pickup. That is pretty good. And then Bednar, 382 with a 116 whip. And the closer role, one of his worst seasons, but not bad. When we take a look at our lineup, Skenes, another potential Cy Young, though 17 and 10, I can see why he didn't get it, and only 183 strikeouts on the season for him. So, and also seeing some regression, but no big deal. He finishes his Pirates career with basically never crossing the threshold of 3 ERA. That's unbelievable. Jared Jones, 3.9 ERA, 1.23 whip for him in his last season with us. Bubba Chandler, 3.53 with a 1.16 whip for him. Barrios was really good, 2.8 with a 1.21. And Braxton Garrett, 4 ERA, 1.23 whip. Not that bad for the lefty. The game sent down Madroth, who hit 255 with a 338 on base percentage this season. It is his worst year of his career, but it's still like a 2-WAR season. I see no reason why this guy should be sent down. I'm going to bring him back up for the playoffs. He's the only guy that got sent down in our actual lineup. When we look at the team, so I'll have to fill him in that spot. Nick Gonzales, 238, 5 home runs this season, 285 on base percentage. I don't think he would come back if I had the opportunity. Ramon Ramirez, pretty good, 242 as a backup catcher, 255 for Wade Meckler. Down year for him too, but okay. Brian Reynolds, he is regressing. I would move off of him in the offseason, but he did play better off the bench than he did starting. Starlin Cabo was not good, so he's an 87 overall. He's probably a trade piece, to be honest. Amongst anything, you would probably trade this and still get something back. So I guess the Marlins kind of fleeced us because he was not good. Philip Prescott in his rookie season, lot of progression from him. 110 hits, 266, 325 average, and 16 home runs for him, who was not originally a power hitter. Very good to see. Rooker in his 3rd year and final year with us, 168 hits, 38 home runs, 302 average, another 900 plus OPS season for him. 5 WAR. So honestly, it's like his best season, and he doesn't get the MVP. That's just because of the defensive value. And also because McCain. Spencer Horwitz hits 30 home runs with a 313 average, 400 on base percentage. An amazing season for him. He's still got another year under contract. He is a perfect guy if you're trying to moneyball your way through. Gets on base a lot, and I guess he developed the power over time. Just part of the lineup here. I do think I have like power-based coaches. Cabrian Hayes, 14 home runs this season, 268 average. He hit 322 on base, 740 OPS, still 3.5 WAR because he is one of the best defensive players in the league. No Gold Glove, but very good. Connor Griffin, 14 home runs, 268 average for him. He is the shortstop. Cabo would be gone because I think Connor Griffin, good enough. 3.6 WAR in that position. David Fry hit 293 with 19 home runs at right field. Kind of returning back to what he did in 2024. It took him all the way till 2029 to get back to that level, so I think it's just part of the roster. He's just not very good. His rating is too low. But we built him back up 5.9 WAR in right field. And then Henry Davis. He's an 85 overall, 235 average this season, 333 on base with 17 home runs. That's a great revival of your career to come back and hit 25 home runs and 17 and just be a positive player back-to-back seasons. I'm going to bring up Mlbtheshow and final year. Can we make it? Can we get a revenge after what happened last year? We finally don't play the Diamondbacks in the first round. We have the Washington Nationals. That's actually pretty fun. In the first round of the playoffs here, we are going to run right through it just like normal. Same rotation, I guess, with Berríos instead of Keller. Here we go. Skenes versus Hers in game one. We win that one 6-5. Skenes gives out no runs, but the bullpen does, but it doesn't matter. We still get the victory. Game two, Jones versus Yarlin Susana. 9-3 victory. Bubba Chandler in game three versus Mitchell Parker. We sweep the Nationals. We will be taking on the Cincinnati Reds in the next series. We're going to go right from the top. Go right to Berríos. I think Berríos will be okay. He's been phenomenal this year. Berríos versus Green in game one. 4-2 victory. We are up. Braxton Garrett versus Chase Burns in game two. We win that one 3-0. We are up 2-0. Skenes versus Chase Petty in game three. 3-0 lead. Jones versus Rhett Lauder. Oh, we finally lose one. Chandler versus Hunter Green. We win that one, and we're advancing. This is a quick playoff run. Okay, let's actually reset this. We're going to go put Skenes back to the top. So Skenes, Jones. I'll go Berríos before Chandler. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll go Chandler then Berríos. Yeah, okay. Versus the Tigers. Skenes versus Jackson Jobe in game one. We win that one 6-1. Game two versus the Tigers. Jones versus Luzardo. We do lose. Okay. All right. 2-3 loss. Jones loses it. Game three. It is 1-1. Bubba Chandler versus Johan Oviedo. He wants that World Series ring he didn't get. Oviedo versus Chandler. I don't think he's going to get it. We're up 2-1. Berríos versus Jackson Jobe. We lose. It is 2-2. I think we're going to go... He didn't give up a run in this first game. Braxton Garrett gets the victory. Okay, we are up 3-2. We are going to quick manage this game. Can we win the next one? Play next one. Quick manage. Guys, we're in the yellows, and Skenes is on the mound. It's game 6. This has not worked out for us once yet. Let it work out for us this time. Gonzales is playing terrible. I'm gonna put Horwitz in instead. And I don't want to go Ramirez over Henry Davis. So Max Clark, Gleyber Torres, Kevin McGonigal, Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, Nolan Arenado, Christopher Morel, and then some Rainier guy, and then Carson Kelly. All right. Can Skenes get me through a game this time? I need to shut up. Okay. Luzardo versus David. Let's go, David. Let's go, David. Brian Hayes walks. Mlbtheshow, fielder's choice. Strikeout for Rooker. Ground out for McCain. Skenes fly out. Strikeout. Single for Carson Kelly, and we get out of that. Single for Prescott. Nothing there. Hit by pitch for Torres. A walk for McGonigal. Strikeout. Fielder's choice. Men on the corners for Arenado. 1 run scores and a fly out. Come on, Skenes, dude. Ground out. Davis is on second. We do have a man on first and second for Mlbtheshow. Hit by pitch. Bases loaded for Rooker. I'm going to go for the sac fly just to get that extra run. We are now up 2-1. McCain strikes out. Skenes with a pop-out single. Fly out. Stolen bait. How do people just steal on Skenes like this? I feel like it's every single playoff game we've watched. All right. Connor Griffin versus Jesus Luzardo. Strikeout. Fly out. And that is it. In the top of the 5th. Skenes versus McGonigal. Fly out. Ground out. Walk. Dude. Get somebody out, Skenes. All right. We are down 3-2. Davis is on base. Single. Men on first and second for Brian Hayes. Line out. Mlbtheshow gets a walk. Bases loaded. Sac fly. We get a run score on a walk. Meaning that, do I want to sac fly with McCain. I want him to hit the home run, though. This is stupid.
Now pitching for Detroit.
Haha, doesn't matter. Okay. We have a 1-run lead. Bases loaded for Connor Griffin. He sack flies. We are up by 2. Good to go. I'm going to make the pitching change. I do not trust Skenes anymore. We're going to Kyle Harrison.
For the Pirates. Number 45.
I just should never make any pitching decisions, apparently. David Fry with a single. He is 3 for 4 on the day here as we continue. I'm going to go Kyle Harrison for the first 2 batters here in the top of the 7th. Single. That was stupid. That was stupid. Foley messed me up last time. Oh, I don't even know who to go to. Bubba? We'll go to Bubba. Strikeout. Fielder's choice. Men on first and third. We are up by 1. Can we get Rainier out? We do. Thank you, Bubba. All right. Madroth against Brennan Hannafy. Pop out, ground out, and a single for McCain. But we are there. Okay. Top of the 8th. We are going to make that pitching change. We are going to go to Justin Martinez here. Fly out. Walk. Single. Make the pitching change. I just need 1 batter. 1 batter. Who do I want to go for 1 batter? Nope. 1 batter. Don't make changes. Have faith. We're okay. All right. Prescott up to bat versus Karinchak. Ground out. Single for Horwitz. Walk. Men on first and second. Give me some insurance runs, David Fry. He walks. 1 out. Bases loaded for Cabrian Hayes. That's a strikeout. Badroth. That's a flyout. No insurance runs. We are going to go to Bednar. Strikeout. Single. We're going to enter. The go-ahead run is on first. Here in Game 6, Bednar is here. They have a pinch runner in Wenzel Perez. I don't think I've ever watched this many World Series games while doing this. Bednar on the mound. Ball up high. With 1 out here, he's got Christopher Morel, who's hitting .375. He is hitting .375. Can Bednar get him out with a pitch? Fastball low, 1-1 count. Takes the pitch. Ball inside. 2-1 count for Christopher Morel. Here, can Bednar get through this? I just want to strike out Bednar. Or a double play. Give me a double play, even better. With the pitch. Come on, That ball's in the zone. Bednar thinks so too. That's tough. That ball should have been a strike. 3-1 count here for David Bednar against Christopher Morel. With the pitch. Strike. Up and high. Full count. Give me a curve down low. Let him bounce that in the dirt to short. Or don't hit it at all with the splitter. It is 2 outs. Last man up is Rainier. Bryce Rainier. Or Rainer? Rainer. My bad. I thought the I was after the N. Bryce Rainer with 2 outs. Ball up high. 1-0 count here. This is the last batter for the Detroit Tigers. It's all down to this. Can Skenes be a 2-time World Series champion? Can the Pirates win 2 in the era? Ball high. 2-0 count for Rainer. Just need Bednar to get him out with the pitch. Forcing fastball low. That is a 2-1 count. 2 strikes left, and then this day is over. Can you get through it with the pitch? Swings and misses on the splitter. That is a 2-2 count. Last pitch for the Detroit Tigers. Can we pull it off? He takes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Your 2-time World Series champion Pittsburgh Pirates win it in a Skenes day against the Detroit Tigers. This is a fun team. This is a very fun team. I'm actually really happy of how this rebuild went. We revived careers. I think this is the first time I felt like we legitimately actually did. I know the Brendan Rodgers experiment in the Angels one worked really, really well. But with Wade Meckler, with David Fry, we did that with Barrios had a great year there. Dylan Dodd as a Rule 5 pickup. We had Porter Hodge as a Rule 5 pickup. Spencer Horwitz turned into a star. We brought in Brett Rooker. That's a pretty obvious thing to do. But we just continuously found ways to get these guys to play very, very well. And we went with the cheaper guys on a consistent basis. And we still end up winning 2 World Series in this with our strict budget constraints. Paul Skenes gets the victory. We win 2. And I'd say that's a successful challenge for us. As we take a look at the awards, World Series MVP is David Fry. I don't think I've ever been happy about a signing. The David Fry signing was just kind of like he's pretty cheap. I can't believe they just left him unsigned, and I left him in AAA. And he was cheap, good. I mean, he was $1 million. World Series MVP for $1 million. Brent Rooker wins the postseason MVP in his last season with us. So, for reference, if this were to go another season, Rooker would be gone. Reynolds would probably be gone. Skenes would be gone. I think Jones would be gone. Bednar would be gone. I think Foley would probably be gone. Is Martinez gone? Yep. I'm pretty sure that the entire team, besides Bubba Chandler, is gone at the end of this season. It would be a very interesting lineup. Now, I would say there's still some future here. Mlbtheshow might not have a whole lot left, but with Prescott, McCain, Horwitz is still pretty good, and he's still got another year on his deal. Cabrian Hayes has still got 2 more years left. Connor Griffin looks very, very good. There's still some future here. But this team is not a World Series contender if they don't have Paul Skenes, if they don't have Jared Jones. And so I feel like this is the perfect time to end it anyways. Pretty successful rebuild. I hope you actually enjoyed the little math stuff in the whiteboard. I know I've never really done that. I don't know how often I'm going to do that in videos, because as you can see, I have to I'm recording at night. Actually, I have to go to work in 4 hours because I didn't wake up for work. That's how late I'm recording right now, because normally I only get through 2 seasons per night. But I had a great time with this. I think it was a really fun challenge. And actually, I think by putting that, our Bob Nutting tax, the 71.6% of our budget, was a really, really good restriction. It was an idea I just thought of. And I think that could be a fun way of approaching a lot of these rebuilds to give ourselves more restrictions. I think for you, if you are trying to rebuild and you're finding things that are a little bit too easy, going with this percentage thing means that you're not only trying to get cheaper contracts, you're also still trying to compete, because you get more money to work with the farther and farther you go and the better you play. And so having higher overall guys gets you more revenue, but it also costs you money because higher overall guys cost a lot of money. And so it's a fun give and take. And I think this is actually one of the more strict challenges. If we weren't so good with some of the signings that we got, with Horwitz playing as good, with David Fry being as good as they were, this wouldn't have been successful. But those fringe signings we made with I guess Horwitz is on this team, but with Horwitz developing, but mainly David Fry, Wade Meckler, and I guess in the pitching staff, some of the bullpen arms that we turned into something. Dylan Dodd, I think, is a big one. And then trading for Mlbtheshow, especially, I think was very, very good. Though without those moves, I don't think we succeed, because I don't think that we have the ability to afford a good enough team. Free agents are expensive, and every season I was looking at teams where I'm like, this guy's $5 million. I don't think I have $5 million. And I often didn't. I mean, we just had to get rid of Santana because I didn't have $5 million at the end of the season. So it's a good restriction. I'm really happy with it. I think I'm going to try it again, especially when we get to the Moneyball rebuild. I think we're going to be even more strict once we end up getting to the A's. I'm going to take some time before we get there because we just did one here, and I know that there's a bunch of other YouTubers who are doing that, and I want to make it really, really cool and really, really special when we do get to it. So we're going to do some more rebuilds in the meantime, more other stuff, try a bunch of other types of challenges. I want to experiment with things so that way we can make our videos continue to get better. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the 5-year challenge with Pittsburgh. And I hope to see you next time in our next rebuild. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Leave comments and share your thoughts. I want to make sure you're supporting. Also, I do believe that after this is posted, I will probably be announcing that I will be live streaming our extendeds on YouTube here on this channel from now on. If we have a video that wants to be extended, say our Blue Jays rebuild, our Cardinals rebuild, in this, we will do them on YouTube on this channel. I will announce the dates and the times so that way you can still watch them and enjoy them, and we can do it live and we can chat, Q&A, and maybe we can do other stuff as well. But I just want to provide you guys some more things to be able to watch on top of the long form rebuilds with all the challenges and stuff that we do. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and adios.